USF and Louisville, again ranked 14th in the country, a team that won the ACC championship for the first time last year, and that is not an easy thing to do. The ACC had 7 teams ranked preseason top 25. By the way, they were all top 16. So this is a quality opponent the Bulls are going up against. But I think Bob Buhorn, as you just heard, sounds like they're ready.
He sounds confident, that's right. And they should be. They played Maryland to a tough game, first game. They played Marquette really well on Friday night. So they're up for this. 2 good teams, attacking teams. Should be a good open game. Hopefully a lot of goals.
A lot of goals have been scored in the Louisville contest so far. The Bulls scores have been 1-0 and 2-1. Louisville, again, 2 straight 3-0 wins against Kentucky at home and then FAU on Friday night. They started off their season a 2-2 draw, which was a little disappointing from their end against Cleveland State. They did lose their top scorer from last year by the name of Tate Schmidt, but needless to say, they have been okay. They've actually gotten a couple of goals from a defensive player, and if you wonder, well, how does that happen? The answer is easy, penalty kicks. So if there is a PK, we'll let you know, but we don't want to jinx it by mentioning the possible PK situation. They do have some talent up front. We'll let you know about a couple of the players, including with the one with the ball today, and that's who the Bulls are really going to have to look out for tonight. Bulls going with the basically same starting lineup. Rutherham getting a little bit of a breather tonight. They're going to let Jonathan Rosales play on the right side, basically as a defensive midfielder. Avion Flanagan out on the left. Diego Guerrero, who just touches the ball as we hit 40 seconds. Also in the center of that defense, and Henry Gallina, a tremendous forward-moving defensive player. In the middle of the D, you've got Devine Brown and Sal Mazzaferro having the ball right now. On the right side is Marcus Murphy. Up top, you've got the freshman Victor Claudel along with Adrienne Bill Hart, and the last player in the starting lineup is Josue Monje. So essentially the Bulls going with the representative lineup. I think basically because they played on Friday night, we might see some bench turns pretty early here tonight, but right now they're just looking to establish possession, it would seem.
Yeah, you can see both teams as well are going to try and play the ball wide. They're both going to stretch the field, try and play with a lot of width, and try and get in behind the defense. So it's going to be a wide open game. You can see already.
Sharif Jay is the top returning scorer for Louisville, and we'll tell you more about him, a kid.
There's that switch ball.
There it is to Flanagan, and heads it down to himself, and using the speed. Oh, knocked away, still in danger, and it's going to go out for a corner as the goalkeeper had to make it difficult. They're going to call that a goal kick. Goalkeeper Jake Gelnovach, who was outstanding, really had to get put to work early here, 90 seconds in.
Yeah, I thought that was a corner, actually. But,
absolutely.
They called a goal kick, but again, right away. Great ball out wide, good cross in. Good opportunity.
Mentioning the leading scorers on the team, Luca Masset, and that is Masset, but he's French, so you pronounce it Masset. Again, he has 2 goals, but a little misleading given the fact that both were penalty kicks, and we hope that doesn't come up tonight. But the fact is the Bulls have to have their scoring boots on tonight, I think.
They do. It's important that they take their chances. They had a few half chances on Friday, and kind of missed a few, had put a few shots over the bar, and that's common early in the season. The fitness has a lot to do with that. But I think as they play more games and work on set pieces, corners, and just shots from outside the penalty area, they'll hit the target more often. They're going to need to do that tonight.
Derek Sharp, that's Alan Anderson. We are here on the call for you. USF going up against Louisville. Bulls 1-1 on the season. Louisville picked to finish second in the conference this year, but again, the ACC is going to send at least a half dozen teams to the tournament, if not more. It's just how it is. So this is a wonderful test. Not that the Bulls don't usually have tests in their early season schedule, but going up against an ACC opponent. Last year we saw them against Virginia Tech, and we just saw how quality the play was from the Hokies who came in here and grabbed a win. Star-studded people in the stands right in front of us, a lot of members of the women's soccer team after a pretty darn good weekend in San Antonio, where they grabbed a pair of victories, just edging by with 5 goals in each win. Evelyn Vienne, who had the 4 goals in one game, you heard me right, is sitting right in front of us. She was just named the Conference Player of the Week. And also sitting just down is the men's tennis team, one of many groups that is just great. It's always great to see others squads supporting.
All sports out here tonight. It's great to see.
Yep, absolutely. Good tennis squad as well for the Bulls. We are 3.5 minutes in, nothing really on much for either team. The Bulls did have that good run supplied by Avion Flanagan, who slots into the left side of the midfield, but is probably going to run as much as anyone out there. Louisville trying to get a little bit of possession here, something that They have lack, so they're going to start it up from the back. Leonard Getz back there, Connor Brazil, Cody Cochran, Luca Massey. Massey is a senior out of France. They have several transfers on their team. He came there a couple seasons ago from New Hampshire. Getz is the one with the ball, though he is a freshman out of Norway. Plays it up. Guerrero, nifty header idea, but it is intercepted by Louisville. Haji Abdi Kadir, a very talented scoring sophomore, gets the ball at midfield, but he turns it over. Foul called on Louisville.
Yeah, it's a good start from USF. They're pushing up, defensively. They're playing a high line, and midfield's working hard already. They've won a number of loose balls, second ball, which is important. You want to win those early tackles, establish command in the midfield early, and they're doing that. USF, good start.
In the middle right now, Victor Claudel pushing back to help out. Sends it over to Adrienne Billhart again. Claudel scored the goal that started things off against Marquette. Trey Jackson, who I'm going to guess gets a little more than 15 minutes of playing time, had the game-winning goal just a few minutes after Marquette had tied it up. It allowed the Bulls to be 1-1 coming into this game. And this is one of those games where usually the Bulls generally will try and get on the front foot, attack, but I think they're settling into this one.
Yeah, everybody's getting touches on the ball, which is good too. Everybody's got involved right away, and they're playing good. They're pushing Louisville back.
Louisville, incidentally, wearing the white jerseys with the red numerals, got the stripes across. Pretty slick look. Going with the white uniforms, probably a smart move, and the Heat Bulls going with the green and the gold numbers. Here at Corbett Stadium, Derek Sharp with Alan Anderson. Pitch in pretty good shape. And again, just a few nights ago, the Bulls were on it, recording their first victory of the season. Nice pass to Devine Brown up across the midfield stripe to Jonathan Rosales. I see the captain's armband on Rosales. If my eyes aren't misleading me, that's a pretty nice note.
He's got involved early as well. He's been on the ball a lot already. A lot of touches on the ball. That's important.
You can hear the wind, and it is as we're going straight across the field, left to right as we are sitting. The Bulls are heading from our left to our right, but it's a crosswind. So if the Bulls, if you're picturing it, are attacking, it's going across to their right. And who knows? That could impact things a little bit. It is impacting things nicely in the booth, where ordinarily it's pretty hot. And we'll take it. There's a great service across the field.
Touch.
Yeah, Devine Brown in the first touch by Avion Flanagan. He nudges the Louisville player to the turf. He beats Connor Brazil to the ball and gets the throw in quickly in to Henrique Gallina, who's a good server of the ball, and that's one that he had in mind for Rosales, but Jonathan holds his hand up to say, sorry, I didn't catch you there. It's going to be a goal kick.
On the same page.
No, sir.
Come.
Yeah, we're definitely not in the same book there, but I love Gallina, man. He will be a guy that, again, one of these youngsters on the Bulls, an extremely young team, but don't let that make you think, oh, this is a building kind of year. It's not that way. I think they think this is a team that can get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 3 seasons. Louisville plays it back to goalkeeper Jake Yelnavach, who is a junior and pretty solid, starting for about 2/3 of the last 2 seasons, and is just coming off of a ACC co-defensive player of the week garnering from earlier today. Being the fact that he posted 2 shutouts, there's always a good chance you're going to get those honors. Now, Claudel's going to make him play an awkward ball, see if the wind keeps that in. It does. And that's Sal Mazzaferro, the freshman, on defense, heading it forward. Oh, a back heel by Billhart sends Flanagan on.
Chance.
He's got a man behind him, and Monhay cuts it right to him. Monhay's going to line it up, and it is on target, and it's in! Oh, you call that, Alan Anderson? Just get it on target. It's an issue that the Bulls had a lot last week, and they couldn't finish those shots. They sailed over the net, but Monhay didn't really put anything much on that ball, just got it inside the left post, and it's 1-0.
I think he slightly mishit it, but sometimes that works in your favour. I think the keeper thought he was going far post, and he just kind of mishit it slightly, went in on the near post. But hey, we'll take every goal we can get. Good start. Again, that was that switch ball over to the left side. Flanagan.
How about the back heel by Billhart?
Great bit of skill.
I know that they give, it kind of fluctuates from school to school. A lot of schools, and I think they should, if they are proper, give 2 assists. And that is a double assist for me.
Yeah,
every day.
That set the play up right there. So great bit of skill. Good vision.
Billhart, again, looking to get off the not scoring schneid, but he deserves a lot of credit for that. But so do Flanagan and the finisher and Josue Monhay. So the Bulls are up 1-0 goal coming in the 8th minute. The junior from Philadelphia, Josue Monhay, with his first goal of the year. Of course, there's only been a couple of goals for the Bulls. We saw them both the other night against Marquette. He had scored 2 goals in each of his first 2 seasons here. Mentioning the women's soccer team, talking about talent and setting up plays. It's Andrea Hochstarter right in front of us. Everyone's happy so far here had settled in to watch the Bulls, but Louisville now looking for an answer. Over in the corner, getting trapped over there and sending it back into the center of the pitch where Liam Bennett. Oh, there's the guy we talked about, and that's Jay, and it's just wide. What a nice shot. First effort by Sharif Jay, but it goes wide.
Didn't miss by much.
No, it did not. He is tremendous. Again, a guy who really came onto the scene last year from a scoring point of view. He was third team all-conference. Again, all-ACC. That's pretty tough with his 5 goals. No assist, interestingly enough. He is from Senegal, and he played at the IMG Academy in Bradenton. Put up 60 goals in 2 years, so he knows what he's doing out there, and you could see it on that strike. Calling for the ball right now, but instead they slide it up to Cam Wheeler. Bulls try to jump out on him, and with some help from Avion Flanagan, they get the ball away, and they're going to call that a corner kick for Louisville as we hit 9 minutes. So Louisville, again, a team that has 8 goals in 3 games, isn't exactly going to be downtrodden by giving up a score. Let's see, he goes out there to take the kick. It looks like it's going to be Leonard Getz, a freshman, again, defensive player, who has been one of the players that has played or at least started in all 3 games. One of the 9, as a matter of fact. The lefty from the right side serves up a high ball.
Too much.
Way too much. Maybe misread that wind. We've been saying it's coming this way, and that was the first kick off the corner that has come this way, and it flies out of bounds.
Going back to the goal, that's what you want to see from your forwards as well. Adrienne, Bill Hart, not always going to score goals, but they also got to create and get involved, bits of skill, something that unlocks the defense, and that's what he did there. Great little back heel, opened up the defense, creates opportunities for other folks. That's what you want to see with your forwards. Not just about scoring goals, but creating as well.
And sometimes you can look really foolish when you try that particular play, but you won't see it connected on much better than that.
Yeah.
And he definitely knew that Flanagan was making the run as Louisville fouls the balls at midfield as we just go past 10 minutes. But again, it doesn't always work out that way, but you're not going to see it much better. It's one of those plays that might gain Bill Hart's confidence, and that's a big deal right now. He struggled to have the finishing touch, but boy, if you start a goal, it feels just as good in my opinion. Back to Marcus Murphy on the back line as the Bulls just so solid back there, and this will be a true test, maybe even a bigger test than the one they faced against Maryland, the defending national champion in the opener. They held down the chances pretty well, but Louisville loves to create plenty of opportunities.
Monnier and Guerrero are working hard in midfield. Both of them are winning the midfield battle at the moment. They're picking up all the loose ball, getting tackles in, putting Louisville under a lot of pressure. They're doing well in the midfield, the two of them at the moment.
And Monnier, again, we're not exactly sure if that's going to be a goal that he claimed that he meant to kick it just like he did, but who cares?
Who cares? They all count.
There's a nice long ball by Brown up to Bill Hart, intercepted by Louisville, but you love the idea there.
Yeah, that ball's on a lot. We saw that against Marquette on Friday with Claudel scoring his goal. They're playing a high line as well, Louisville, and it'd be nice to see USF put a couple of balls in behind the defense. There's a lot of space between the defense and the keeper.
Noticed that as well. Bill Hart noticed the space there and got called for offside, but you love the idea again.
Too soon.
So I do like the idea, and you can just tell, and it's a smart approach in my opinion, that the Bulls aren't exactly playing for 1-0 right now. I think that would be foolish. And they haven't changed their alignment out there. They're continuing to press forward and maybe add to this 1-0 lead as we have played a dozen minutes here in Tampa.
Yeah, I think already you can see this game is a faster pace. It's more open than Friday's game, which I think will lead to more goal-scoring opportunities and ultimately more goals.
Bulls certainly have the talent out there. It's been wonderful to see the development of the freshman Victor Claudel. Maybe you can overreact early, right? But as a guy who's composed and a finisher, and that's all you want. And you have players on the bench right now that are good finishers, but they're just not able to get on the field all the time. That's how tough the competition is for starting spots. Jonathan Rosales, the man I mentioned, is wearing the captain's armband, didn't start the other night, didn't play until the second half, and that gives you a good idea of the talent on the Bulls. As the goalkeeper for Louisville.
And Trey Jackson came on and scored the winner, which is what you want to see as well. Subs coming in and contributing right away.
Correct. Rosales.
Good switch ball.
Absolutely, over to Monnier, who switches it over to Flanagan. You know it's too much on it when he can't get to it. It's going to be a whistle for a substitution, and it's going to be William Hirschman, who's listed as a defensive player out of Carmel, Indiana. It's a pretty early substitution. It looks like he's going to get Connor Brazil, the redshirt junior from Michigan, who really hasn't been a regular player until this season, so he is going to get an early seat, so that'll be Hirschman onto the pitch. They have had some players, even though the starting lineup has been pretty regular, get a lot of time. Hirschman actually didn't play in the first game and has gone from 8 minutes to 20, so he's earned some more playing time, and he's getting in early here today. As we hit 13 and a half minutes, Bulls up 1-0.
One thing, Coach, you want to be pleased with is both games now, Friday and tonight, USF's got off to a good start and they've scored early. That's always a good sign. You get an early goal, settles the nerves a little bit, gets them playing, but get off to a quick start. That's what they've done.
Well, this will make you nervous. Jay with the ball on the left side. That's a good ball across. Brown plays it. There was an appeal for a handball. I didn't see that by Louisville, but it still maintains control. Continuing with Getz, up from defense, cuts it in, and let's see who they call that out on. They're going to say it was out on Rosales, so it'll be a corner. So good work there initially by Sharif J to lead to this corner kick attempt. It'll be the second of the night for the Cardinals. Over on the left side, it'll be Cam Wheeler taking it. One of several players on the roster that you might imagine are from Louisville, which has made the NCAA tournament 11 of the last 12 years. National runner-up at its height back in 2010. Here's a good corner, and trying to step into it was Rosales. Missed it, but fortunately had a teammate there to clear it out. Jay gets the ball about 30 from goal. That's where you want it.
Good closing down again by USF.
And that was
down
Flanagan.
Quickly. Now they got the break.
Now numbers, and Flanagan tried to lead Bill Hart up the pitch, but overshot him by about 20 yards.
Yeah, that was a shame because they had a good break on there, and Claudel was open through the middle too.
Bulls, as we hit the quarter-hour mark, leading Louisville on the goal by Josue Monje, his first of the season, on a tremendous build-up by Adrienne Bill Hart. Didn't officially get an assist, but I'm giving him one. Evian Flanagan will get the official assist, and he certainly deserves one. But, in hockey, you give 2 assists no matter what, even if the person that's on the first end of it had no concept that there might be a scoring opportunity. I think that should be the hallmark, and that certainly was a goal creator by Bill Hart, who just
Good
stole the ball.
Again
Absolutely.
From Bill Hart. He's
Oh,
working
and
so
boy, look
hard.
at him jumping into the fray
that's
and
a
getting
bad
fouled
tackle.
hard.
That's
This
a
is going to
yellow.
be a card.
Yeah, it's an immediate yellow.
Absolutely, and Bill Hart got clipped, and actually the Louisville player reached up to apologize. Bill Hart took the hand and then said, "Come on," but that's got to be a card, which I think it's going to be.
It's got to be.
We'll see who it is, and
it's a dangerous tackle too. Those are where you can see some serious injuries at times, tackling from behind like that.
this is going to be a long conversation with Luca Massey, the head official, and you would the Bulls expect a red actually, and it's going to be a yellow, which I think is fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Jan Halaska, and I love the talking to there, and it wasn't, when I say talking to, it makes it sound like he was scolding him, embarrassing him, but definitely wants to make sure everybody, not just him, I think, realize that that's not going to go.
But again, this is what happened in the Marquette game on Friday. You get a few yellow cards. Now you've got to be careful. Louisville has to be careful now, and USF should target and go at some of these defenders now. They have to be careful now. If they overcommit, second yellow, it'll be off.
Yeah, and that's certainly what helped the Bulls the other night, because they played with the man up from the 65-minute on, and apparently a big Luca Massey fan crying over that, but there was a goal by Marquette to tie it, and still the Bulls had the man advantage, and that helped them lead to the victory.
Need a good service here. Put the ball in around the penalty spot area and let the USF guys attack it.
Rosales going to take it from about 40 yards away, right side, and that's going to go right into the 6-yard box, and reaching up to grab it first is Gelnovach, the goalkeeper for Louisville. Wearing the lime yellow mix, lime lemon kind of weird fluorescent jersey to stand out. Actually, it looks like a alternate jersey for USF, but it's not. Bulls wearing the green, Louisville the white. So we hit 16 minutes here in Tampa. Got a little bit, not a little bit, some clouds in the distance, and every now and then my eyes make me think I see a little bit of lightning. We'll hope that that's not the case. Bulls off to a good start. Oh, nice ball into Jay again. Rosales is going to try and prevent the cross. He can't do it, and Devine Brown, just in the nick of time, clears it away.
Yeah, he did well there, Devine Brown. Got into the right position, got in front of the forward, made sure that he got that ball away quickly.
Got it away from a very dangerous player in Abdel Kadir, who is on the ball right now, and that is going to be sent away by Murphy, but kept in bounds by Rosales. Is going to try and play it off a Louisville player in tight into his own corner, just going to try and send it up the pitch, but it's blocked down by Louisville, so they have the ball. Good work there by Leonard Getz to gather it up over to Jay. 2 on him, so he gets it open to an open teammate, Wheeler. drops it back as they look to switch.
Yeah, it's good closing down by USF there. Forced Louisville to go back.
Something that they were really outstanding at in the win against Marquette. Oh, what a good turn by Jay, and he's going to get it away. Boy, that is an absolute dive,
Good
and
tackle. Good
no
tackle.
go there by Halaska. The official waving it off immediately. That was an expert dive and a good tackle, and so good job all the way around. Actually, I'm going to say good job by Jay for the dive. I mean, it was earned, but
That was a 9.5, I think.
I think so.
Referee did well there. He right in the right position. Realised that that was a dive.
I know you're a forward, Alan, but you have to be fair, and it sounded like you're being very fair
They're
there.
never usually right.
They're never usually right. I love it. Now Louisville has the ball back after that brief moment of possession by the Bulls. Louisville has gathered up some possession here. Wheeler gets knocked off the ball. That could have been called a foul, but Guerrero.
Again, Guerrero. He's picked up a lot of second ball tackles. He's doing really well in the midfield. Good start.
Murphy pressured by Jay, and oh boy, that ball is blocked across the goal mouth. Harrison Devonish mirrors the goalkeeper with Jay not 4 yards in front of him.
That could have gone anywhere.
That was a break. Instead, it goes across the goal mouth. Now Victor Claudel goes across midfield with a great move and pokes it over to Avion Flanagan. He is onside. Louisville called for off. It's short numbers. Oh, a crossover and a shot, and it's knocked away. You're right. Bill Hart was up, and Claudel out of the air and scores! Unbelievable shot by Victor Claudel. Like some sort of masterful dancer, flew through the air, and as the ball was headed towards the turf, decided to have a volley and nailed it inside the left post. The goal of the year for the Bulls, and it's 2-0. Have you ever done anything like that? I'm sure you have.
Fantastic fit. I mean, not just the technique, but getting it on target as well. It kept it down low. Keeper had no chance. What a great finish.
You know, we mentioned on the Bill Hart back heel that led to the first goal that was the kind of thing that can make you look silly. What Claudel just did, you could really look silly. But he went for it, and the Bulls are up 2-0, 18 minutes and 11 seconds in.
Really, really good finish that was.
A miraculous finish, if you ask me.
And the difference, tonight as well, they're hitting the target. USF, their strikes, they're making the keeper make saves, and you've always got a chance then of picking up rebounds. You've got to hit the target, and that's what USF's doing well tonight. They're not putting the ball over the bar. They're hitting the target, making the keeper, make saves, and then picking up the second ball, the loose ball, the rebounds. Great finish that was.
Couple of substitutes in for Louisville. Elijah Emo, definitely an experienced player out there. And then Kino Ryose out there as well. So Louisville's already made a few substitutions, and right after that second goal came in, their first-year head coach, John Michael Hayden, said, "We got to do something here." And now let's see what the response is.
Great tackle.
Absolutely. This time it was Guerrero
again.
on the push forward by
Super
Leonard
tackle.
Getz. And now the Cardinals trying to steal it back. Boy, Bill Hart not afraid to get his boots dirty today. A quick in-close work by Rosales to Bill Hart to Guerrero leads to the Bulls having the ball at midfield. Now they look to switch it over. Henry Gallina to Flanagan. Don't underestimate his role in that goal. It was a good move to get himself open and send it over to Claudel, albeit for the miracle. There's the offsides call. Louisville did one offside on that previous goal, but still there was so much work to do. It's not like the lack of that meant it was going to be an automatic by any means.
Bill Hart, he's a coach's dream because he's creating and obviously creating opportunities, goals, as a forward, but he's tracking back, he's chasing defenders, he's hustling, he's helping the midfield out. That's what you want from your forwards, getting back and helping, put a shift in and winning some good tackles, etc.
Tremendous start for the Bulls. Let's see if they can keep it going. 2-0 is the score. Less than 20 minutes in, so plenty of time. Now do you maybe think about defending a little bit? This kid right here, Jay, is tremendous. He tries to slide it forward, but another interception, Rick say.
I think you go for the third goal now. I think they put the pressure on. They've got them on the ropes. I think Coach Bill will want to see his guys, keep pushing up, get that third goal.
It is really an interesting scenario, and I love your attitude, and I think the Bulls are going to go that way. But, do you get a little bit tight leading a ranked team 2-0, or do you just play your game, which you've been playing, and keep it going? And I think
it's working right now. What they're doing is working, so, don't change it. Keep pushing, keep being aggressive, look for that third goal. 2-0 is always a dangerous score. You sit back and they get one back, suddenly the momentum's changed. So you want to keep pressing, keep pushing.
They say it in hockey as well. 2 goals is the worst lead you
Yep.
can have, so get it up to 3 is
That's
what you're
right.
saying. I like it.
Absolutely.
Jay tried to slide it into the penalty area, but Devine Brown among a half dozen or so Bulls that were back there. Now Victor
Well
Claudel
done by Claudel.
off that tremendous
Good skill.
goal and a
Yeah,
great
through the
skill
foul
there.
as well.
He got knocked in the
Yeah,
face.
he got stepped on there, landed on.
He is down and hopefully not out, but still trying to describe that goal. I think we did an okay job of it, but probably didn't do it enough justice because it was so spectacular. He saw that the ball was coming down, so you really can't trap it there. You have to take it out of the air, unless you're going to think maybe a half volley. And so he kind of retraced his steps and jumped in the air and took it that way. It's unbelievable.
I think a lot of that is confidence, isn't it? You know, he scored on Friday. You know, when you're confident and you're scoring goals, you attempt everything.
Yeah, that would certainly be the attempt of a very confident player. I don't think anyone who hasn't scored a goal already in the season would even think about that. And maybe the fact that your team's already up 1-0, that doesn't hurt your case either. Avion Flanagan gets a feed from Guyena, about 40 yards from goal on that left side. Slots it through for Bill Hart, who makes a nice run, but Louisville there to intercept, send it back to the goalkeeper. Good work there by Amo for Louisville. Weak pass zone. Again, I think this wind is kind of a little bit in the face of Louisville, so the Bulls are pressing forward continually. Up 2-0 midway through the first half.
That's good. I mean, USF's pressed all the way in the Louisville half. They're not sitting back at all. Chance.
There's one for Rosales, and he got a good control of it, but just wide. Over the ball well. You don't want to pop it up. I think it looks like the Bulls have been working on that. They were skying balls well over the goal. Now Louisville with something on. Bob Butenhorn exhorts his club to come back the other way, and Harrison Devonish Mears lets it ride out. There was a Louisville player in the area code, Amo, but no danger to score there. So the Bulls did a good job of getting back.
It was an interesting retake over there at USF. It looked like Louisville just went to sleep. Opened, they were sleeping and created a great opportunity for USF there.
Yeah, that's why Rosales sort of jumped out of nowhere for me. We mentioned their first-year head coach, John Michael Hayden, has been an assistant the last few years. So he's looking to get them back. Not that they've gone away from their glory days, but get them back further in the NCAA tournament. And as everybody in the ACC playing a tough non-conference schedule, but once you get into conference, it is just loaded up. 23 minutes. Bulls are ahead of the ACC team Louisville, and of course their former conference rival. They played them plenty of times, just not recently. So since the college conference realignment, which put the Bulls in the American Athletic, eventually Louisville in the Big East with the Bulls before that. Turnover there by Louisville. Bulls take advantage at midfield with the throw. Now, they're not exactly rushing up the field, it's worth noting, so maybe a little bit spent by some of this effort in building up this 2-0 lead, but no substitutes yet for the Bulls. If you're Bob Butenhorn, why would you change what you've got going on right now?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he might wait till the half-hour mark and then look at putting some fresh legs in. But right, as you say, right now, it's working, so don't change it.
And Bill Hart up to Claudel, called for the ball beautifully. Can he get a step? He's going to have a rip. No, he's going to cut it back. Left-footed shot right to the goalkeeper. But again, great skill and the right move there. Instead of having a rip with a man who probably would have blocked the shot, he took it back for a lefty.
Again, though, hit the target. That's what you want to do. Make the keeper make the save.
And that is certainly the case. And again, the first goal by Josue Monje was a dribbler, but it was inside the left post. Might have almost had a knuckleball effect for the goalkeeper. And then Claudel, it was a magical effect, allowing that wonderful shot out of the air to go in. Louisville trying to get back possession over to the right side. And good crossover move there. Flanagan, quality defense, and that is going to lead to a goal kick.
What USF's doing well is they're breaking quickly. They're winning the ball in midfield and then breaking, because Louisville has to come out now. They're 2-0 down. They have to push up a little bit, and that's going to create some spaces, in the defense there.
And you can't help but get excited about the chances for more goals if that is being the case. Another substitution, Bradley Sample, a very talented freshman in for Louisville.
I think there's more goals coming in this game.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had an idea that 1-0 was not going to be the final, and the Bulls took care of matters there, thankfully, with the next goal. Now we are at the 25-minute mark. When you're winning, you score early. It seems like the game goes slower, doesn't it? Just 25 minutes. It really does feel like we've played at least 30, but just the 25. Jonathan Rosales sees Adrienne Bill Hart up ahead, headed away by Louisville. Bill Hart and Claudel will win a double-team battle as Louisville player loses the ball out of bounds. Leonard
Both
gets.
forwards tracking back, chasing there. That's good to see.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be Rosales taking the throw. Gets the pass back from Bill Hart, chested it to himself, but pass could not connect with Claudel.
He's been involved in everything tonight, Bill Hart. Everything, attacking wise, he's been involved. That's some great work.
Certainly his best game in quite some time. It's
Definitely.
been wonderful to see. Now Louisville on the right side of the park. Bulls getting back in numbers. That's a good thing. Abdi Dakar, we'll keep an eye out for him as he sends it over to the right. Now they play it back. So good defense by the Bulls, very composed, not allowing Louisville any runs at all. Again, remember the name Haji Abdi Dakar along with Jay we've been telling you about. Good slide tackle there by Murphy on a venture up the left side. It'll be a throw-in for Louisville. Some players starting to warm up for the Bulls. First real action we've seen in that way. As we hit 26 minutes.
Yeah, I think around the 30-minute mark they'll come in.
Good combination here. Jay thinks about a long shot by Gallina. Stepped out and
tackle.
gets the
Great
slide
second
tackle and
as well.
keeps it to himself so he could pass it up the park. Now it's 3-on-3.
There's
Bill Hart
good
again.
skill, good ball.
Cuts it across to
Good ball.
Claudel. He's got a 1v1. Now it becomes about a 1v5. He holds up for some help. Rosales is behind him, sends it over to Bill Hart, who goes down to one knee to try and get that ball, but not enough there to keep it. Now they send it up to Ryukse. And Ryusuke unable to keep possession there for Louisville as it goes over to Devine Brown.
Saw on the play there, that ball up to the Louisville forward. They looked tired. They weren't able to get up there and help him. He was isolated on his own there and got no help, no support from the midfield at all.
On Flanagan, part of that extended midfield for the Bulls. Really running a 3-5-2 here tonight with Mazzaferro, whose name we probably don't say enough, but has been outstanding as a freshman.
Very solid. Yeah.
Talked about him with Bob Buthorn in the beginning, and then you've got Murphy and Devine Brown, who I think just will barely go off the pitch. The only time I remember him going off was against UT when he picked up the red card, but that was a true exhibition game. So the UT coaches, about after 8 minutes, said, "Come on, we'll let you play 11 on 11." We know he didn't mean to commit the foul, and that was kind of an interesting situation. Flanagan up the left-hand side to Claudel. Again, not many numbers for the Bulls, so Claudel's going to do a couple of step-overs and send it well across to Rosales, who heads it back to Bill Hart. Smart move there, slide past to Monhay, and Monhay took the dive. He was losing the ball and tried to get the call, and so consistency from this official.
Now that looked like a free kick to me.
It looked like a free kick to Monhay, but did not protest. I know I messed that up, but he didn't complain is what I'm saying. 28 minutes gone. Bulls sort of slowing it down right now, and you can afford to do that up 2-0. Take your chances, pick your spots.
Yeah.
Good spot to be in, as a matter of fact. Marcus Murphy, again, with the blonde hair as of 2 games ago, over to Bill Hart. Nice one-touch pass to Rosales. Wants somebody else to come to, and that's Monhay. Intercepted by Louisville. It's a good foul call as Monhay got the hand in there on Bradley Sample, who is a heralded freshman, 6'1", out of Illinois. Mentioned a lot of folks from Louisville on the Cardinals roster. A couple of internationals there. They had an outstanding goal scorer, and he was the guy that everything went through, really. Tate Schmidt, 5 goals, 8 assists last year. Adam Wilson, 4 goals, 3 assists. And they also, along with those 2 gentlemen, lost 3 other guys with 3 goals exactly. So they have really been looking for some folks to replace the scoring, and that's why Jay is the expected top scorer, but he's going to have to get some help. And 2 of the 8 goals have been supplied by he, 2 more on penalty kicks, and the others have been spread evenly throughout the team, as Louisville's off to a 2-0-1 start. They've scored first in every game they played. Obviously, the 3-0 victories, and also against Cleveland State, that was a draw, but not tonight. The Bulls are up 2-0. And Devine Brown.
Yeah, great tackle.
Man.
Great tackle by Brown.
No issues there against Ryusuke. And there's some good work by Louisville to win a battle, but right to Henrik Gallina, who steals it from his fellow number 4, Abdi Kadir.
Yeah, the plus for USF is that defensively, Brown, Murphy, Mazzaferro, Gallina, they're all comfortable on the ball. So they don't mind playing the ball at the back, slowing the pace down when they need to, take a breather. They're all comfortable getting the ball to feet. They don't panic. And that's key for with your defense.
And right now they are looking very comfortable. And frankly, it's almost like back in college basketball when there was no shot clock. They're making Louisville come to them.
They're making Louisville have to come out.
Come out of that zone.
And as soon as they come out, now the break's on. So, they're playing this well. They're smart play.
Very, very smart. You love to see it.
And a good switch play there, too.
No panic with the 2-0 lead. No, are we out of place? This is fantastic. And Avion Flanagan has been a big part of the 2 goals. Try to do his thing again. Taken by Louisville this time. But, boy, goalkeeper waits a little bit too long to get rid of it. In fact,
good pressure on
by
the keeper.
Claudel.
Forced him to make the mistake.
There you go.
But you see there, the tempo, slow it down at the back, keep possession, force Louisville to come out, and as soon as they step up, then there's space in behind them, and USF are breaking on them quickly. It's good tactics.
It really has been fun to watch here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We're at the 31-minute mark. Official calls time. Not sure exactly what the issue is here. I don't think we're having the hydration breaks today. Maybe just accusing the Bulls of taking a little bit too much time, being a little too patient before issuing the throw-in, but there it is from Flanagan. And they send it back to Harrison Devine-Schmears, who hasn't had to do too much tonight. Did face a scary shot from Jay early, but it's not been that many on net for Louisville. In fact, that was their only reasonable effort.
Yeah. And again, USF now playing the ball at the back, keeping possession, taking the time, just slowing the pace down, getting a breather.
No doubt. Smart play. And, Louisville probably doesn't mind getting a breather.
Yeah, they're not pressing. That's the thing. Louisville, they're really not pressing, the USF's defense. So there's no need for USF to rush.
Love it. And still at 31 and a half minutes gone, no substitutes for the Bulls. They do have about a half dozen or so players warming up. This has been a last 3-4 minute kind of a break. Forwards get some time off. They're just passing around the defense. Jonathan Rosales, you just don't want to get into a lull.
Yeah.
And there's a long pass across the box. Oh, well played out of the air by Mazzaferro.
Terrific defending, that was. Yeah, I think it's time now to put some subs in for me. We're getting to that period now, 10, 12 minutes before half-time. You don't want to give up a goal now. The starting 11's done great to get a 2-goal lead. I think some fresh legs now would be good for USF.
I agree with that. Rosales makes a nice run, splits 2 defenders who hack him down to the turf. That'll be a foul, but the Bulls play it again back to midfield. Mazzaferro, a little nifty skill there with no one on him. What the heck? 33 minutes we approach as the Bulls lead it 2-0 on goals by Josue Monje, as well as Victor Claudel. Flanagan with the assist on both, although Bill Hart give him a double assist, if you will, on that first goal. It was wonderful to see. Bad pass by Jay across, and Flanagan will say thank you very much and take it, but again, strike it right back to Sal Mazzaferro. So it is...
Yeah, just keep possession again.
It is a very much marked change in the tactics here over the last 5 minutes for the Bulls, being smart about it. Jonathan Rosales, but again, like you said earlier, you can pretty much put it away with the third goal, and almost like Marquette the other night, where 1-0 felt comfortable, but you were afraid it would turn the other direction. You don't want to get too comfortable up 2-0.
That's right. You never know. A free kick, a penalty, something gets them back in the game.
Well, now Rosales from one. Hey, good pass from Bill Hart up to Rosales, but a heavy touch, or else he would have been on.
Shunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Good work there. So the Bulls kind of flicked the switch, and with some great work from Monje, and Rosales almost had a good chance there. Bulls
Great play again by Bill Hart there.
Going up against a team that has, as I mentioned, been to the NCAA tournament 11 of the last 12 years. Last year, in winning the ACC for the first time, were the number 4 national seed, but were stunned at home in their first match by Michigan State. Oh, that's a good ball across, but Harrison Devine-Schmears is going to gather it in. The effort by Leonard Getz. And after that year, last year, the man who led them to 11 NCAA tournament berths in 13 years after they had never made it. They started the program in 78. They had never gotten to the tournament until 07. But Ken Lala was the guy that guided them to all of those appearances, and he stepped down. Imagine taking a team that's never been to the tournament and just turning them into a perennial powerhouse. That's what this team is that the Bulls are going up against, and that they lead USF. The Bulls do 2-0. You can see the talent in the Cardinals, but they are trying to put together some mix and match some pieces. They did have 7 returning starters, but also brought in 10 newcomers, 4 transfers, 6 freshmen. So not unlike the Bulls there with some new pieces. And it's fit together well in their first 3 games. But tonight, The Bulls are handling them.
Yeah, I think for Louisville now it's a little bit difficult for them. They're not quite sure what to do here because if they press up too much and they get caught the third goal, game's over. So I think they're basically not quite sure whether to push or sit at the moment, and they're doing neither, really.
First substitution of the game for the Bulls, 35-minute mark, is Adrienne Billhardt's going to get a big, big welcome from his head coach, Bob Buthorn, and the assistants. He was outstanding.
He was player of the half for me.
Absolutely.
Everything revolved around him going forward offensively. Did terrific.
Be replaced by Stephen Rutherham. If you're wondering, has Louisville been behind by 2 goals this year? The answer is no. First of all, they've never been behind, so there you have it. They beat the second-ranked Indiana Hoosiers exhibition. They turned around and beat UAB 3-0, beat Lipscomb as well 2-1. Some very solid teams, even on their exhibition schedule. So the fact that the Bulls are beating this team is saying something. Can they hang on? Going to have to do it for another 53 minutes or so. Long ball up. Victor Claudel gets fought for by a good defender there, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Bulls as Louisville turns it over.
He's the perfect guy you want to bring off the bench as well, Stephen Rutherham, because he works so hard. He chases everything. That's what you want. Last 10 minutes of the first half, keep the pressure on, keep the tempo up. Maybe we can, get a third goal.
That's Alan Anderson. Yours truly, Derek Sharp. Both of us getting very greedy. If you would have told us 2-0 at halftime, we would have said absolutely, not asked any questions. Now we're both asking for a third goal.
That's right.
No, I guess that is the definition of getting greedy, but that's kind of where the game has been. The Bulls had the 2-0 lead within 20 minutes. Now Jonathan Rosales getting greedy, taking about 5 steps up before actually throwing the ball in. Very casually, though. Got away with it, but Louisville gets the ball away from him. But they are just not letting Louisville have anything in those corners without having to work to get it out. Leonard Getz eventually does, and it's up the field. So Sharif J, the leading returning player for Louisville, and it's All Big East third-teamer from last year. Since a couple of good chances early, really hasn't had much on. Louisville trying to call Jay to the ball, and he knocks it back to the man who passed it to him, Massey, who was sitting on a yellow card. As he clipped Adrienne Billhardt, talking about him being in the middle of things earlier on in this game. Now they get it over to the right side. Nice feed by Wheeler into the corner. Evian Flanagan unable to clear. That's going to be a shot attempt, and it is well off the mark. And trying to
tired shot, that one, wasn't
absolutely by Jay. Just couldn't get over it. Almost just flung his left leg at the ball, and that's not his side anyway. And it's well over. And there'll be another substitution for the Bulls at the 38-minute mark.
That's a warning sign, though. That just USF,
sure is.
You can see Coach. He's on the sidelines here. He's just everyone focused again. Concentrate. And we've only got 8 minutes to half time. Let's not give anything away now.
Should mention the fact that, and this is something I blame myself for not mentioning by now, but really haven't seen much at all from Emil Elveroth, who was the guy that was on the Herman Trophy watch list. He's a transfer from NC Wilmington. And there's a foul on Louisville. So the Bulls have done a good job of making him into a relative non-factor so far here today.
Did well there, Guerrero. Kind of drew the foul. Did well.
Bulls have gotten great work from Diego Guerrero. Really, everyone's been on their game tonight, playing to their strengths. And now Stephen Rutherham along with Emilio Icaza, 2 guys that would normally be starters and are just tremendous forces playing attacking midfield. Now they're out there for the Bulls. And you don't really lose that much. That's all you need to know about the talent of this team. As we near 6 minutes to go in the first half, the Bulls leading Louisville 2-0. It's going to be Avion Flanagan picking his spot out there on the left. Finally throws it into Icaza. Didn't have his best game the other day against Marquette, only played briefly, so we'll be looking to get back on the right track here tonight. Good work by Gallino, almost a turnover, ends up getting a foul because on the follow-through he kicked the Louisville player.
Yeah, he just had his cleats up a little bit there. It was a good tackle, just on the follow-through.
Louisville looking to roll it up and get it going. Bulls are with right now just Victor Claudel and Stephen Rutherham forward. Now Louisville up the right side. Good touch over there. Cutting across in a low shot, but it's scooped up by Harrison Devonish Mears. He was all over the Elijah ammo.
Yeah, he was in good position there. Meat and potatoes, that was for him. Easy one.
Perhaps since he's from Australia and throw in some Vegemite on top of that.
Vegemite on top.
I would never. I've actually been to a place, I don't even remember what it was called, that had that spread available. I took one look at the can, and this is in Tampa, and I just said, no, I don't think I'm ever going to be trying that.
Oh, it's delicious.
No, it can't be. Who are you, Colin Hay? 40 minutes. That's the Men at Work lead singer, I think. Don't quote me on that. 40 minutes gone in the first half. That's Alan Anderson. I'm Derek Sharp. I tell you, if the Bulls win this game, let's say by 4, I will eat Vegemite. I promise you. And I will
hold you to that, because I have a jar.
I will. You do? I will share it with you and Harrison Devine-Schmears, who is the goalkeeper for the Bulls and one of the very few seniors on this roster. Stephen Rutherham out there now as well. A very young team, very talented team. Adrienne Hart, a senior as well, is taking a little bit of a breather right now.
Good pressure again by USF. Forced the turnover again. Good hustle.
Now, you're talking about ordering up a third goal. The guy who could supply the order is checking in here with a little more than 4 minutes to go in the first half, and he's going to come in for Victor Claudel, and that's Trey Jackson, who was simply marvelous. Even before Marquette tied the score for the Bulls against the Bulls on Friday, he almost made it 2-0. And then after Marquette tied it, he was very calm and cool and sort of passed in, as you said, a ball that was going across the goal mouth, put it on goal inside the left post for the winner. And now he enters into the game along with Freddie Gill.
So I was going to say, I wonder if they were going to put Trey Jackson. What he does well, Jackson, he finds good opportunity, good positions in the penalty area. He gets open, finds space. That's just a natural talent. He'll get some opportunities, Jackson.
And it looks like Claudel and Flanagan come out now. Small observation, but I think it's an important one. Okay, so USF's up 2-0. There's 41 minutes and 20 seconds showing on the clock. I think about an extra 7 or 8 seconds just ran off after the official whistled for the clock to be stopped for the subs. And now in that situation, normally you'd see the team that's behind saying, hey, stop the clock. The Bulls coaches were all signaling stop the clock. That means they want to score here. They want the extra time.
I think they're sensing here that they've got a great opportunity for a third goal here and put the game away. Absolutely. I mean, it's Louisville looks tired. They're not getting up and supporting the forwards. They're sitting deep in defense, so there's a big open space in the midfield.
Very unique situation. Of course, if it was the second half, they'd say, hey, good job, clock operator. But needless to say, the Bulls are thinking about having as much time as possible. Turned out to be just about 7 or 8 seconds. So good ball up for Jay by Amo, and that ball takes a turkey deflection, and it's knocked away as Devine-Schmears was wrong-footed and got that handout.
He had it covered, but it took a deflection. It was bobbling awkwardly there, and he made a great second effort, push that away.
It could have been a panic situation for the Aussie we were just talking about, but not at all. So we hit the 41-minute mark, and Louisville is going to get a corner out of that, but that's better than what it could have been for the Bulls, which was a possible goal. Leonard Getz will deliver. The freshman defensive player up for these corner kicks. A low drive. They try and flick it across. That was dangerous. It went to Ikaza, and he clears it away. But Jay thinks about lining one up. Instead, it's stolen. Well, that was Guerrero. Now it's Trey Jackson, 2-on-2, although Jay's tracking back. Did he hold the run? No, he did not. He being, I think that's Gill out there, and that would have been the ultimate counterattack situation, but just maybe a foot offside.
He just took an extra step, Jackson. It was a shame because Gill made a great run. It was a perfect run. He just took an extra step too many and delayed on the pass. It's a shame because that break was on. And that's what we said earlier. This is the issue for Louisville, is if they push up like they're doing to try and get back in the game, they're going to leave themselves open for the counterattack.
The Bulls have regained control, and that was an awkward situation there as Louisville's Liam Bennett might have not have noticed that the coach's box is not the end line. I'm sorry, the touch line, and he went right over the touch line thinking he was still in bounds.
Yeah, some frustration creeping in.
So with 3 minutes to go, and then he dribbled it back onto the field. That's why you heard some groans from the crowd here, who maybe can sense the third goal opportunity brewing. We almost had one, at least an opportunity for Gill, who would have been in all alone.
And like you said earlier, Derek, Louisville's not used to being behind. They haven't gone behind. So sometimes, when you're not quite sure what to do, you're used to being ahead all the time. Now suddenly you're 2 goals down. They're not quite sure what to do here tactically.
And they're probably spent with the Bulls taking this approach of building from the back. And no one wants to chase him down right now. Now Stephen Rutherham has it after a good build-up to Ikaza in the center. He sees Rosales off to his right, but also Murphy making himself available from defense, crossing midfield. He gets the pass from Guerrero. 2 minutes and change up to Trey Jackson near the penalty box. Sees Rosales off to the right side. It's 2-on-3. Rosales into Ikaza. Nice one touch to Jackson. Bulls looking to keep possession here. And
good play. Just keep 2-touch, pass and move. That's all they're doing.
well, that one was a little bit off by Gallina. I think he tried to curl a leading pass to Jackson, but it was all the way out of bounds there. My pen just officially blew apart on me. That's okay. I don't have to write, do I?
Even when it doesn't come off, though, USF, they're playing some good 2-touch.
Oh, a little bit of post and now shoving. This is not good. Javane Brown needs to hold off. And the coaching staff, boy, Jay is the player from Louisville that shoved a ball. And Javane Brown for USF came on and gave it back to him. You've got a couple of talented players barking at each other. Actually, you can see the coaching staff from Louisville telling Jay he needs to settle down.
Yeah.
And by the way,
out of there. Get him away.
1:20 left in the half, and this is a tricky situation. I don't think you can start handing out cards to calm it down if you're an official. You need to actually calm it down. And definitely not calm there with Sharif J. There was going to be a conversation from the head official and between the head official and the fourth official. If he saw anything, because it was right in front of us, honestly, I was looking up the park and didn't see anything.
Jay kicked out at him a little bit.
Okay.
As he walked past, he kicked him. And
the Bulls
through the retaliation, and then that's where Brown came running over to get involved. But he kicked him.
And he does get a card for it after the conversation, so that was good officiating. By the way, the clock's still running, and Louisville's not so happy about that. I think they might have to reset the clock here as it's 44.5 minutes. Yeah, that will be stopped right now. So we're going to end up with, it was at 1:20 left to go in the half. All the parties are going to, say their piece. Actually, USF has kind of backed away from the situation. I think it's been resolved to their liking. Not to Sharif J for Louisville. He is pointing to his eyes. He held up the number 2 as if to say, 2 times they gave me this, so I had to give something back. I'm not sure exactly what his contention was, but it was definitely going to get him a card either way.
He kicked out at Guerrero. Guerrero was kind of snapping at his heels on the tackles there. He's been winning a lot of tackles in there, and Jay kind of kicked out, got some frustration. That's what's going to happen now, Louisville. They're going to get frustrated. You've seen it already a couple of times. They're getting frustrated. USF's got into their heads a little bit here.
So while this sorts out, we'll tell you what's coming up at halftime. If you're listening to us on USF Bulls Unlimited, which we appreciate you doing, we'll have some of Charlie Strong's press conference from earlier today. And I gotta say, I was there, and he was right on it. I mean, he didn't hold back as what's going on with the team. You'll also get an update on women's soccer. Needless to say, they were among the honorees by the conference today as far as players of the week went. We'll also give you a scoreboard check from around the men's soccer side of things in the American Athletic Conference. We're still a couple of weeks away from conference play. Yeah, resetting the clock, I thought it was 43:21, but it's 43:14, close enough. Whatever it is, if it's off by a couple seconds, I think we'll be okay. They put it to 43:46, and now it's rolling as the play is back in. So I think things, to me, Alan, first look like they've calmed down enough. But I guess we'll find out next time Jay is in the middle of a couple of players.
Yeah, that's what USF's got to be careful. Don't lose their heads. Don't do anything silly. You know that Louisville's gonna get frustrated and some niggly stuff coming in, and USF's got to keep their heads. Don't get sucked into some of that stuff.
And good news is, doesn't look like they have been. In fact, Bob Buthorn just held up both hands saying, take your time, boys.
Exactly. Calm
down, and I like it. It was Javane Brown who really got the most emotional, and he shoved Jay, and that could have drawn something, but it didn't.
I mean, he was lucky, really, because he didn't need to go over there. He didn't need to get involved, and he's fortunate that he didn't get. And that's the last thing you want is your defenders getting a needless yellow card.
20 seconds left in the half. Murphy up to Trey Jackson. It's going to go out of bounds. That's probably going to end the half. I know Javane, I interviewed him about 10 days ago, and he talked about how his teammates came to his guide, came to his help when he had the first red card in his career, and it was an exhibition game. So I think he was just returning it there. But probably fortunate not.
And that's fine. You want to see all your players all in it together, but you just don't want to see them push anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Bulls did the pushing on the scoreboard. That is for sure, with 2 goals in the first 20 minutes of this one, and they have held on, playing very smart soccer throughout the rest of the first half. They lead top 15 team Louisville by the score of 2-0. Got our halftime show coming up next. Again, we'll let you hear a little bit from Charlie Strong earlier today. Very, very pointed and interesting comments that he had to make. We'll get into a little bit of the football situation. Also, more on women's soccer because they had an outstanding week, and look ahead to what's coming up tomorrow night, right here on campus, as a matter of fact. Something else that we'll be having live for you on USF Bulls Unlimited. Through 45 minutes of play, USF 2, Louisville 0. This is men's soccer on USF Bulls Unlimited.
USF football team is back at Raymond James Stadium Saturday, September 14th, as they host the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. Visit gousfbulls.com for more information.
Good turnout. Good crowd.
Be sure to swing by the concession stand for all your snack and drink needs throughout the night. Between $2 popcorn and our Dippin' Dots carts, you won't be disappointed.
Well, thank you. Good, thanks. Good. I'll get you back here about 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, okay.
Bulls
Cool.
fans
Thank
are
you.
excited to announce the return of Rockies Rookies Kids Club. Rockies Rookies is open to kids ages 12 and below. Members will receive a personalized lanyard and credential, a birthday surprise from Rocky D. Bull, free admission to all home USF athletic events excluding football, along with exclusive events and access throughout the year. Sign up today at gousfbulls.com/RockiesRookies or visit the marketing table near the entrance to learn more. USF students, check in at USF athletic events, get points, and win exclusive prizes. All you have to do is download the Her Student Perks app, through your app store, and check in at the event. It's that simple. Again, that's the Her Student Perk app. Download it today to win cool prizes. Bulls fans, mark your calendars. The USF volleyball team opens their 2019 home season against North Florida tomorrow. We're celebrating the beginning of the school year with a back-to-school blackout. Dig out your best black Bulls gear and be sure to arrive early as we give away USF backpacks. First service at 6 p.m. For more information, visit gousfbulls.com or visit the marketing table at the entrance. The Bulls scored in the 8th minute during today's game. The winner of the USF Help Guess the Goal Challenge is Carl Z. Congratulations, Carl. Stop by the marketing table near the west entrance of Kroger Stadium to claim your prize.
1 point. And, of course, getting the goals. Osway Monhay from Avion Flanagan and Victor Claudel. I guess Flanagan doesn't get an assist, but he created that play, and again, has been one of many outstanding performers, I think, for you, Alan Anderson. Adrienne Billhart leads the way.
Definitely. It was a great first half. I think Coach will be delighted. They've kicked on another gear from Friday against Marquette. They've come out tonight and really set the tone early. Some great performances, but really impressed with Adrienne Billhart up front. I thought he's been terrific first half.
These first, I'd say, 5 minutes are pretty vital in this game. I think if the Bulls can hold it, then we're in good shape. 2-0, but Louisville already, you could just tell, must have gotten a talking to because they are on the ball. And Emilio Akaza is on it and pokes it up to Trey Jackson, who's still out there for the Bulls. Louisville intercepts, but the Bulls look like they'll get a throw in. No, kept in bounds momentarily for a Bulls throw.
Yeah, it looks like they've started the second half how they finished the first half, to me.
Looking around, Akaza out there, Rutherham, I think you're right, Billhart and Claudel not out there, so Bob Buthorn using halftime as just a continuation. Meanwhile, there is a Louisville player down at the far end of the field, the one that made a desperate effort to keep that ball in bounds. That's kind of an example of already in 40 seconds the improved effort by Louisville.
Yeah, I think the coach read them the riot act, I think, at halftime, and you know that Louisville was going to come out, and I think that's where USF's got to be just a little bit careful here. As we said earlier in the first half, a 2-0 game, it's a difficult lead to have. You're not sure, do you push and try and get the third, or do you stick on what you have? And I'd like to see USF keep pushing here. I think there's more goals in this. I'd like to see USF keep attacking and try and get that third goal.
I think the Bulls have done a good job of combining the two things, if it's even possible, right? They've been going for the chances when they're there, but when Louisville has not offered up any resistance in the back, they've just sort of passed the ball around and just bided their time. Because remember, they got the 2 goals in 20 minutes, so they've had some time to pass on. Now Louisville intercepts a pass near midfield and pressing up the other way, but getting his foot in there to knock it away was Freddie Gill, and Javane Brown is just going to send it quickly back to Harrison Devonish Mears, who sees over here to our side on the left side of the pitch, Freddie Gill. Heads it back up across midfield. Louisville. And, we mentioned their Herman Award watch list performer, and he was one of the guys that came off after that second goal. Emil Elveroff just played those 19 minutes, so needless to say, the coaching staff thought that he wasn't doing his job defensively. A transfer player from NC Wilmington that the Bulls had to be concerned with as the most heralded of scorers for Louisville, but he's not really been a factor tonight. We'll keep an eye on if he comes back in the match, but he's not in there now. The sub, Amo, is out there up top. Foul on Louisville, and a player goes down. And, boy, the Cardinals spending some time here on the turf in the first 90 seconds.
There's a couple of times there where Louisville won the ball back and then gave it away straight away, and that's frustrating for the Louisville coach. They win the ball, they've got to keep it. USF winning the ball back, and then they keep the ball and making Louisville have to run, chase, wearing them out.
So it's Rios K up front for Louisville, along with Amo. And, of course, we'll keep an eye on Jay, who had that interesting situation late in the first half where he got himself a yellow card, and he is one of the 2 Cardinals players out there on a yellow. Boy, if you're the Cardinals, that's the last thing you want to do. First thing you want to do is get back in the game. The last thing you want to do is commit a second yellow. 47 minutes and 20 seconds gone in this one. Bulls leading it 2-0. Good header by Henrik Gayen on a deep ball by the talented Louisville goalkeeper, Gelnovich. Yeah, the Cardinals are certainly picking up the pace, but so are the Bulls now. I've noticed it.
Yeah, they're still winning all the second ball, all the loose ball, USF. They're picking up all the pieces, and that's important. So keep pressing, keep getting the loose tackle, getting the tackles in, the loose ball, and setting the tone. Now they're one there. They win the ball back early.
And you see the guys right now, Gill with the ball, Rutherham, who helped to win it. They're subs, and they know that they can put out more effort because there's someone behind them on the bench that can come in when they get tired. And that's right. A fantastic result of the depth that we've been talking about for the Bulls. Freddie Gill ends up winning a throw-in deep in Louisville's end. 3 minutes gone in the second half. 2-0, Bulls on top. Emilio Okaza might have pushed off a little bit to create some space and frustrating the Louisville defense to the point of earning a corner kick. It was Bradley Sample thinking that Okaza got a little bit of his jersey there, but like a power forward in basketball, he earned it.
And
Got the
Ikaza's
foul.
got involved right away as well. And as you said earlier, he didn't start last game, didn't start this game. He's got something to prove, and that's what you want with your players. Come out on the field when you get a chance, prove something.
Rosales will take a corner kick. We just got a flash of heat lightning, by the way. And there was a flash by Ikaza. Got the head on the ball, but it stayed high. In fact, stayed in play. And Devine Brown, all the way up from defense, rides off a Louisville player a little too aggressively. It'll be a free kick. But Ikaza, certainly not afraid to get his nose in there if he needs to.
Yeah, he's got involved, as I say, right away, and that's what you want from him. Get him on the ball, get him involved.
Certainly doing that. So we mentioned the first 5 minutes being important. We played 4 of them, and nothing dangerous yet for Louisville. The effort's been noticeable, but the results haven't translated.
That was a good foul, Brown given away there, because there was a chance of a breakaway for Louisville, and he gave a foul away back in deep in Louisville half, give them a chance to regroup USF.
Guerrero skillfully plays the ball out of 50 yards out of the air within an inch of himself and sets the Bulls on the other direction. He caused a toe poked, almost found Rutherham. So Bill Hart and Claudel, the starting forwards for the Bulls, both out, but they still have Trey Jackson up there along with Rutherham, who tries to make a run, but Gill hangs on to it. Very smart play by the Bulls. This has been...
Keep possession, that's right. Keep possession, just keep moving Louisville around, wearing them out.
Murphy is going to wear out a Louisville player, make him run all the way back, talking about Ryusuke. And Harrison Devonish-Mears has no problems beating the Louisville player to the ball and gets it back across midfield. Gill tries to win it. Does a nice job getting it away from Amo.
Gill did well. Lost the ball and then won it back immediately.
Mazzafaro, the freshman for the Bulls, up to Kaza. Gets it to himself. Almost touched it with the hand. Didn't. Slots it back to Guyena. International flair going on right now. Mazzafaro from Canada. Guyena with the ball for the Bulls. Back to Devine Brown, Jamaican national player. About half the players on the field are international. That ball is headed, and coming out to grab it is the goalkeeper. His Rutherham would have been ready if Gelnevach wasn't there.
If he didn't get that flick there, Rutherham was in.
Yeah, Jake Gelnevach coming off being co-conference player of the week defensively in the ACC has given up a couple of goals, so another good mark for the Bulls. Now we've gotten through those 5 minutes, and the ball will be let out of bounds by Louisville, as a matter of fact, so the Bulls will throw it in. About 6 minutes gone in the second half. They lead it 2-0. Derek Sharp with Alan Anderson here at Corbett Stadium. Good flick up to Ikaza, and Trey Jackson actually, I think, was on. Didn't think he was.
That was close, wasn't it? I think he thought he was offside, but I'm not sure that he was.
He held and actually didn't want Ikaza to send him the ball because he felt he was so offside, but Ikaza, I think, saw what Jackson couldn't. Sometimes it's tight quarters, man. We can see it really easily from up here in the booth. It's hard to know if you're level out there when you're looking back that the player's going to send you the ball, and that's Ikaza, and he's got it back, deflected by Louisville, and good piece of work there by the Cardinals to keep it alive. Pretty clever touch there. Now Louisville, after the work by Conte, will move it up. Over on the left-hand side, Amo dispossessed by Rosales, who was just tremendous and earns the foul.
Rosales did well.
Again, just an
Ikaza's picking up some good positions in midfield. He's playing what we call in the hole, so he's playing just in front of the midfield and just behind the two front players, and he's picking up a lot. He's got a lot of space. He's picking up a lot of the ball, looking for him to create some things here.
And he has been kind of the creator in this set. As you know, Monhe was subbed out, has continued to be out as the Bulls, not going to say got a bunch of defensive players out there because they do not, but they're able to rest some of their guys, and I'm sure Bob Uthorn will bring them in before too long. But right now, on defense, Amo. Oh, and tries a clever move, but Devine Brown was already there. Now Louisville tries to get something going over to the left side. Bulls are going to let a free runner have a free shot, and it's well over the goal.
Well over.
You let him have the shots from 28 yards.
Yeah, you don't mind those ones. That's the first pass that I've seen Javon Brown give away, actually. He's normally so calm at the back there, and just a loose pass there. But other than that, he's been faultless again tonight. Tremendous.
Just very, very sturdy, not afraid to get in there into any sort of threat. Seems to be the guy that I'd say 50% of the time is clearing away threats from the opposition. We hit 53 minutes gone. Bulls off to a good start here in the second half. Not really putting much on goal, but not needing to, up 2-0. Looking for their chances. Ikaza's been part of that. Gets it up to Rutherham. Guyena sees Rosales off to the right. Gets it out there to him. Wants to switch the field. And there's Rutherham. It's actually headed by Louisville, and will it stay in bounds? I think it went over the line. Let's see what the call is here. That's going to be a ball kept in play by Jake Gelnovich, their goalkeeper.
I think I'd have been shouting at the linesman there. The linesman wasn't quite up with the play. I don't think he saw that.
He could grab that ball because it was played back via the head from his defensive player, but almost too good of a header.
Yeah.
For USF's taste, it would have been a perfect one over the line for a corner kick. Louisville tries to work it back up. That's Cody Cochran, who popped in a goal in their first game of the year, more of a defensive play. They've gotten 3 goals from their defense. Again, Massey with the 2 penalty kicks. There's Ammo. There sees Jay, far left side of the field. Can he run it down? Sure if Jay does. Murphy out there on him. Sets him up. Oh, nice slotted pass. This could be something for Louisville, and it's a great save, parried wide of the mark, out of play by Harrison Devonish Mears. It was a good setup by Jay and a good strike by Louisville's Leonard Getz, and it's going to be a corner.
Good save, Devonish Mears. That was dangerous. That could have snuck in on that near post, but he covered it well. Gave away the corner.
And the Bulls, again, will gladly take a corner. That'll be the second time tonight it's happened where they've been thankful that Louisville is in this spot because it could have been a goal. That's their second best chance. Cameron Wheeler, I believe, is taken. It's the farthest corner from us. Hopefully my eyes don't deceive me as number 11, but it was played away quickly by the Bulls. Trey Jackson with Getz all over him.
From Trey Jackson, won the throw in there.
Yeah, he
was isolated on his own there. He did well in the throw.
It's like they watch basketball. They boxed out a couple of times and done well just to win that battle for possession, as it were, and get the throw, which is just as valuable in soccer. That's getting a rebound and an outlet pass. Now moving up the park. Is that Rosales again? Out there taking about 5, 6 extra steps, 7, 8 before making the throw in. And he throws it backwards, by the way. So all of that moving up to gain room on the pitch and just drop it back. Well, that was a nice weighted pass by Mazzaferro.
There's Ikaza again in the hole, picking that ball up.
There you go.
Bit of skill.
Ikaza turns around a 360 over to Jackson, and it's taken away at the last moment. Well by Massey. But Mazzaferro had a one-touch drop pass over here to the left sideline in front of us, and if he had put too much on it, it would have been out of bounds, and he just, oh man, you could just see the skill in that kid. Foul on the Bulls. Bob Buthorn pushes his hands down below his waist as if to say, okay, take it easy, guys. Looking good right now.
Yeah, they are. They're looking tight at the back, compact. They're not giving Louisville anything cheaply, and that's what you want. Louisville's going to have to work hard to get back in this game, and there's always a chance of a break for USF. I'd like to see them pick the tempo up at times. It's okay slowing the game down, but then at certain points you want to pick it up quickly. So I think that there's still some opportunities for breakaways.
There's a foul committed on Mazzaferro, and they kick the ball right back at the Bulls. Louisville just taking liberties here, and might get a card. I guess just a warning here. You mentioned Ikaza doing his thing there. You can definitely tell when Avion Flanagan's not in the game because he seems to just be a constant threat on the left wing for the Bulls, as he was basically creating both goals with some help. Not scoring either of them, but he has been earning an extended rest.
The thing is, he stays wide. He gives you width, so you've always got an outlet. That's what you need. Anytime you're under pressure, you've got him out wide that you can drop the ball either in behind the fullback or play it to his feet, but you've always got that option of playing wide. That's what you need. Stretch the play.
And he went out with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Boy, Trey Jackson with a hard foul, and the official is going to sprint after him. I don't know if that was completely necessary. Trey Jackson sends a Louisville player to the turf. That's the 4th time this half that a Louisville player has fallen, and he was definitely pushed to the turf. I think Trey Jackson might be getting the first infraction against the Bulls. Yeah, reaching for his pocket.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Just a little bit over-enthusiastic there, but he went for the ball. It was unintentional, but he did catch him, and referee felt that was a yellow card offence.
One of the Louisville players just, held up, I think, 3 or 4 to the referee. I don't know what his message was. He gave him a yellow card. What's the message? That you should send all the players off? I mean, he made the call, and you can tell the Louisville players popped right back up and seeing that there was a foul called. He's fine. Yeah. He's going to be fine. But, I understand the frustration. If you're Louisville
I think
right
they're
now.
Motioning that that's the 3rd or 4th time that they've USF has caught them a little bit late. So I think it was more of a, hey, that's the 3rd time.
Well, not for, it makes sense. Not for the foul itself, but for the contact.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want guys taking runs at your cleats. And if
Yeah.
that's what the message was, then I get it. Absolutely. So if you're Louisville, I can understand that. Trey Jackson gets a card for it. 57th minute. Now Louisville, actually a nice ball up from the keeper. And now Louisville into the left corner. Getz making some ventures up there. Let's see who gets the call here. It's going to be goal kick. That could have been another corner for the Cardinals.
That's often the frustrating thing for players. You know, your teammates have been making all the fouls, and you just happen to make the last one where the referee's had enough, and you get the card. It's like, ref, that was my first foul. But it's unfortunate it was Jackson.
You know, that's one interesting thing about, and I see it in Premier League a lot, and I actually kind of been impressed, but I don't know how the officials keep track. You will see them hold up 2-3 fingers on a card like, hey, buddy, this is your third time.
This is your final warning.
This is a cumulative card that you're about to get.
Exactly. But then somebody else makes a foul and they get the card.
I don't think Jackson.
It's their first one.
Jackson certainly was his first one.
It was.
Again, some heat lightning there. I'm glad that's not actual lightning. We've had weather delays where we don't even see or hear any thunder or lightning, and I've actually seen some flashes here. 57 minutes and a half gone. Bulls up 2-0. Game getting a little chippy out there. I'm sure the Bulls would like to regain some possession. It has gotten a little ragged. Louisville is going to make a first substitution of the half. About a dozen minutes into it, but the ball's in the middle of the park. Both teams battling for possession. Louisville has to go backwards to get it. Slotted over here to Hirschman. Defensive player up to Amo, who's been pretty controlled since he came into the game as a sub.
Good hustle again, though, by USF. I mean, they're hunting in packs. You know, they're closing down 2-3 players, all going to the ball, putting pressure on Louisville all the time, not giving them an inch of space.
Good through ball into Jay, though. He's defended by Murphy. He's going to make him cut back, so that's a big win there for the Bulls. Another ball in, and Devine Brown is there to volley it out of the air.
Automatic, isn't it, Devine Brown? He's automatically in the right place every time.
And keep possession for the Bulls. Oftentimes you're just trying to clear the ball, and he actually, I think he had purpose on that. I think he wanted to pass it to Rutherham, who gets the possession. Unbelievable job. Two players set to come in for the Cardinals. Isaiah Jennings, who was one of their starters tonight.
Plenty of space out on this left side here. If they can switch the play like that.
Yep.
Lots of space on this side.
That was Mazzaferro getting it done to Gill. Now Jackson with a man on him. Waits for some help, or does he? Thinks about taking on his defender. Now he...
Well done. Just held it up, waiting for some support.
Gallina is going to try a switch, but it's going to be a one-on-one battle, and Rosales skies through the air to get it away from Getz. Unreal. He looks for a cross opportunity. There it is, across the mouth. Gill gets in behind a defender, drops down to Jackson, low shot, in on net, but Ikaza can't quite corral it. It's going to go out of bounds for a corner kick.
That could have gone anywhere. Boy.
Well, it was Jackson who just tried to keep that ball low, similar to the first goal that was scored by Monhay. And actually, Ikaza, almost like a hockey player on the redirect, did exactly that, but it was wide.
Yeah. That's the difference for me tonight from the Marquette game on Fridays. They're hitting the target. Every time they're striking the ball, USF, they're hitting the target, and good things are going to happen. Rebounds, deflections. That's what's happening now.
I don't remember a ball going over, or at least a half dozen on Friday. Rosales with the corner, and that ball is going to be gathered in by the goalkeeper, Jake Yeldovich. Not a bad job there by Rosales, but Yeldovich came a good 10 yards out to get it. As we hit the hour mark, Bulls still up 2-0. There have been some chances here in the second half for Louisville. But same can go for the Bulls now, as they've just put a couple on themselves. Shot count back even at 6 apiece. Bulls have 2 when it mattered in the first 20 minutes that went in, including a highlight reel goal by Victor Claudel, his second of the year. And their Gallina wins a battle across midfield and hangs on to the ball.
Well done there.
You got 3 Louisville subs waiting to check in, including the guy waiting to get in is included Emil Elveroff. We told you about him, the Herman Trophy watch list, who has been out for 40 minutes in this game, and he can't get in because Gallina just kept that ball for a Bulls throw. They're taking their time on the throw-ins, I'm telling you. That was about another 10 seconds off the clock by Freddie Gill. Louisville gets the ball back in its own end. They'll switch from the defense over to Getz on the left flank.
You knew this was coming from Louisville. You know, they're bringing 3 attacking players in. They have to. It's 60 minutes. They've got to try and get a goal back, and I think that's going to play into USF's hands here. They're going to get stretched out a little bit. Louisville. There's going to be plenty of space. Ikaza's got to get on the ball and look to play some little through balls.
Right now you got Rutherham and Jackson up top with Ikaza, and I don't see. We'll keep an eye out to my left of Claudel and or Bill Hart. In fact, I think that's the 2 gentlemen that are warming up right now.
They'll be coming back in. That's right. They'll be coming back in soon,
and will create headaches, I would guess, for Louisville, as it's bound to get tired here. Ball stays out of bounds. The Cardinals' would-be substitutes are starting to get frustrated. Yeah. They mentioned the name of Neil Boyle, a junior from Olympia Washington trying to get into the game for the first time.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring out a defender or a couple of midfield players in order to accommodate these forwards, Louisville. That's going to open up some space.
Gallina sees Gill, holds his line, makes the run. Gallina's pass is a little too weighted. It'll be gathered up by the keeper. 62 minutes gone. Indeed, the two starting forwards for the Bulls are making their way over towards the substitute portion. So the next one will be a mass substitution. And Louisville, meanwhile, has been put off its track a little bit here by the Bulls. Again, back on defense. Gill has slotted more into it's become more of a 4-4-2 as he's playing more defensively for the Bulls on the left side.
Yeah, it's a little bit more compact, isn't it now, USF? They're keeping it tight midfield defensively. They're very comfortable, tight, and just keeping possession.
And let me tell you, as Devonish Mears gets it to Javane Brown, some tricky moves there, but getting it out of trouble. Gallina is truly a defensive player, but he is just in control of that midfield as a holder. Tremendous. Now, not three, but yes, 3 substitutions for Louisville. Let's see if the PA guy can pass the test. That's always a difficult one. So 3 Cardinals coming in, and I see Jay coming off the field. And so that's good for the Bulls. He's been really their most dangerous threat tonight. The Bulls will take that. I see William Hirschman, the junior defensive player, transfer from Ohio State, having a heated conversation with his head coach about what's not going on out there. So that's good for the Bulls. No subs yet. We'll let you know when the guys get to the midfield line to go in. 63 minutes gone. Bob Buthorn's team off to a fantastic early start here tonight and doing a wonderful job of holding it down. Louisville's only had a couple of dangerous threats.
Good switch.
Good switch by Mazzaferro.
He's very comfortable on the ball. He plays the ball out from the back so comfortably.
Trey Jackson sees Gill on the left side. A perfect ball to him. He's going to run a nice cross in, and it's going to be played out safely by Louisville for a corner kick. Jonathan Rosales was the intended target, and he puts up his thumb there to Gill.
Yeah, you can see already there's some spaces opening up now. Those 3 subs for Louisville. You know, there's going to be some spaces opening up, and USF needs to capitalize.
Has been Rosales taking most of the corners. This is going to be Gill in the Adrienne Hart role on the right side with the left foot.
I wouldn't be surprised if Flanagan doesn't come on in another 10 minutes or so as well on this left side, open up the space again.
It will be Hart and Claudel checking in at the next chance for the Bulls. Here's the corner, whipped in by Gill high, and good job there by Gelnovich, who has gotten more comfortable on these crosses. And boy, nice distribution, but Mazzaferro with a player on his heels gets it out on the half volley, and now the Bulls the other way.
What the attack again, yep.
Great play by Mazzaferro. It's Emilio Icaza. Good skill. Tries to pass it one time in there after the 2 quick touches to Rutherham, but
that's what you want to see, though. You want to see Icaza taking them on, you know, especially around the penalty area. That's what you want to see.
Foul there by Gallina, who is a sturdy guy. Knocked a pretty sturdy kid himself, a 6-footer, Isaiah Jennings, to the turf there. Jennings, a player who has, over his last couple years, given Louisville basically a start in every single game, or at least has played in every single game, a good spark off the bench most of the time, but got the start here tonight, hasn't really made his imprint on the game. 25 minutes left in it. Not many Louisville Cardinals have made the imprint, and that's good news if you're the Bulls. They're up 2-0 still.
I think that's a testament to how well USF has played. They've just taken Louisville off their game completely.
Oh, good turn by Rutherham using his body. He's got Gill possibly. He's got numbers on his right. He can do anything he wants to. He's going to slot it over to Trey Jackson. At the top of the box, Jackson goes to his left foot. There's a good shot, deflected and just wide. And you were right there. It was on target, and it did go off a Louisville player, so it should be a corner.
It got deflected right at the end there. That was going in.
And I think the deflection was necessary for it not to be a goal. And again, a chance for the substitute. Do the Bulls do it here on the corner, or do they say no? And they have the option to let this play on. And I think they're going to go ahead and bring in Hart and Claudel. See who comes out. Probably Trey Jackson.
Yeah, this is a good time to make the subs when you've got a corner. Put your 2 forwards back in.
So it'll be, it looks like Rosales coming out of the game along with Jackson.
Yep. Did well again, Jackson. Gave USF a spark when he came in. He always does. Did well again.
So it'll be Rutherham taking the corner from the left-hand side after the near goal by Trey Jackson, headed away by Louisville and Will.
Much better corner as well. drove that one in much harder. Didn't let the keeper come out and grab it.
Well, you could see Louisville putting out some effort there in the case of the new substitute, Neil Boyow, but ridden off the ball and fourth throw in for the Bulls. So even when Louisville is having these bursts of effort, they're saying
it the other way.
They're saying it's a Louisville throw. That's the wrong call.
That is.
And USF's coaches are up in arms. Their arms are actually up. That's the definition of it. And I think he's going to speak to his linesman and turn it out. Yeah, absolutely.
Good overrule as well. Don't see that very often.
You know, I say fair play because, listen, I know people get upset, but if you get the call right, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
In fact, the throw-inner, Freddie Gill, he was getting ready to take about 5 steps forward before he throws it in. There he goes.
I actually have to say, and I don't say it very often, but the referee's done very well tonight. Been very impressed.
Well, you're allowed to say it. I know it was difficult for you. Freddie Gill, by the way, was smiling as though I was going to say there's a foul as, boy, Louisville's starting to take some liberties as well.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated, Louisville. They can't get anything going. You know, USF has out-hustled them. They've outplayed them in every aspect, and I think Louisville's just getting frustrated now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more yellow cards coming.
They have had a couple issued. Nothing in the realm of craziness, well, except for the one by Jay, who has gotten a seat on the bench, not because of it, but got a little out of control. A nice ball in, and he's being Ikaza. He's going to cut it across. There's a player there, Bill Hart, but gets beat him to it. It'll be a corner.
Great cross as well, Ikaza. I mean, that's what you want. Put it right across the face of the goal, but nobody there to tap it in.
It was Devine Brown with the ball. And
it was a good ball.
Ikaza was, I mean, and
it was in. I mean, it's that easy sometimes. You know, you put 10, 12 passes together sometimes, all this intricate stuff, and then suddenly one pass and you're in.
Route 1, as they say. Adrienne Bill Hart, short corner, back to him. Shorter pass, and it's available for Shunt. It's a goal! Devine Brown pounces on it, and he's going to celebrate with a cheeky little dance. The Bulls are doing all the dancing right now. It's 3-0.
Look what that means to them. You see the coaches are on the field, the players. That's fantastic. That's the goal that USF needed, that third goal.
And he drops to his knees, thanking the Lord. It would appear Harrison Devonish Mears.
He deserved that.
You talking about how it means everything. Devonish Mears sprinted all the way from his goal to be among those to greet Devine Brown. Bill Hart created it with what turned into a short corner, and he should get an assist. And it dropped to Brown, and he made no mistake.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that the last few corners USF have taken, they've changed it up a little bit. The first few corners they were putting up high and the keeper was coming and grabbing everything. And these last couple of corners, they've driven them in harder, lower. They've got little flicks on and kept the ball alive in and around the penalty area. And that's what happened there. They got the second ball, finished it off.
Well, there is a discussion going on with the head official and the linesman. We didn't see the flag up.
I didn't see a flag go up, but I must admit he did look pretty wide open in front of the goal there, but I don't think he was offside. I think he was played on.
Well, it was a corner, so you naturally are going to have defensive players on the line. Now, they did get to come up after the first play, and frankly, I didn't see anything untoward. It was a shot, first of all. It wasn't a... It was. Let me be fair. It was a cross.
Calling it back,
and they're going to call it off.
Called it off.
Wow, that is a long discussion to call off a goal.
That was a late call as well. I was surprised how late that was. Well, they're already about to kick off.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any Louisville players. Usually, all the time, they hold up their hands for offside.
I don't remember seeing the flag go up either. It's strange, but well, they just got to regroup now. USF, don't let it get in your heads. Don't lose focus here. And disappointing, but they'll get another one.
Well, at least the head official is going to come over to Bob Uhorn and explain the situation. And I can't read lips, but I can surely read facial expressions. And Bob is giving it the okay right now. He's not going crazy. He's actually smiling. So I guess he's not completely turned off by the explanation, but the Bulls certainly just thought they had clinched the game and locked it away. They're still up 2-0. That's important. But heck, that took a while, a long while to get overturned.
Good.
Well, Devine Brown.
He's not happy.
No.
He needs to keep his head. Don't get frustrated. Doing everything right. Just keep it going.
Well, let's see how the Cardinals respond with this new life, because they've got to feel like they've been given a new leash on it. And with 21 and a half minutes left, for the Bulls, you just want to keep on doing what you've been doing. But we've seen these extra opportunities that you wouldn't have if the scoreline it wasn't what it is for the Bulls. And I think another one will result in another goal. unable to keep the ball in bounds there for Louisville. They've lost some balls out of bounds on the sidelines. That was Jennings. Gill with the quick throw this time. That's a new thing. Adrienne Bill Hart, the recipient.
Good hustle, Bill Hart again.
Oh,
Great
Massey
hustle
with
again.
the steal, and he's got Claudel in front. There's the
Offside.
offside flag.
Yeah.
The linesperson could not wait to hoist the flag, as if to say, I can also call them right when they happen.
That one he was off. I will agree with that one. Great work, though, again, Bill Hart. I mean, terrific hustle. Played terrific tonight, really has.
Bob Buthorn just gave the motion to his assistants as if to say, okay, guys, back
Calm
on the
down,
bench.
Calm down.
The officials know what they're doing here. We are getting some definite flashes of heat lightning. I'm glad that's not real lightning. This is the last thing the game needs is a delay. Oh, that's a good ball in. And just momentarily, we've been telling you about the player and that it's going to be a flop by Elveroth, who really, as we said, again, the Herman Trophy watch list member, one of just 35 in the country to transfer from NC Wilmington. 11 goals last year, and he has done nothing tonight. That was his first opportunity, and he got in the box, and he showed what a goal scorer does. He fell down, but it was no call.
Yeah, Javon Brown's marked him terrific tonight. And Mazzaferro, too. I mean, you know, they've marked him well. They put one in front of him, and then Brown's, you know, swept behind him. So Mazzaferro's picked everything that's come in the air. He's won, and anything that's gone over his head, Brown's picked up.
Yeah, that's a pretty good combination they got going there. And two youngsters. Yep. Brown had to sit out last year, sophomore. Mazzaferro just a freshman. Again, the Bulls frustrating a outstanding player for Louisville. And their other top scorer, Jay, is on the bench, has been for about 15 minutes. Rutherham sees a running Claudel. A little bit too much of a lead there for him. It'll roll out. Actually, I guess there was a foul.
Yeah,
was it a deflection? Okay.
Got a deflection.
All right. Either way, it'll be, well, we'll find out if it's a throw, if that was the case, if it was a deflection. Actually, the ball would have rolled out, so it'll be a corner. It'll be a corner. Okay, yeah. You're right. Absolutely on the money. That's why I'm paying you the big bucks, Alan Anderson.
I haven't seen that yet. But
you see things that I don't, except what I just referred to.
Again, this is another corner. They need to take the keeper out of this. Don't hang it up high, but drive him in. Get the second ball.
Rutherham's going to drive one in
there
nice and low, and Javane Brown was all over it with the header, and I guess it was off another Louisville player, so we will see yet another corner from Stephen Rutherham.
That's what they're doing now, is driving him into the near post and trying to get Brown to flick the ball on. It's a good tactic, because then you just got to win that second ball. It's very difficult to defend.
Freddie Gill just sitting in the middle of the goal.
There
Brown again, and it's headed away by Louisville. Man, he flies through the air. And there is a shoulder charge, no call. Bulls bench aghast at that, but I think that was a solid bit of play by Louisville. It'll just be a throw.
Yeah, they need to keep their heads, USF.
Yeah.
You know, the emotions are running high now. They're 2-0 up. They need to keep thinking, remembering that. They're 2 up. They don't need to do anything silly. Just keep doing what they're doing.
I'd be surprised if they don't bring Sharif J in pretty soon for Louisville, but he's on the bench right now. They're turning to some less proven players. 72 minutes gone, and the Bulls are still up 2-0. Thought they had a 3-0 lead. Another name that we haven't mentioned much, Haji Abdid Kadir, is about to check back in for Louisville, but one of their vaunted players from a scoring perspective who just has been kept quiet here tonight. What a great effort for the Bulls.
Yep.
And that ball is a mistaken pass, so it'll be Mazzaferro taking it for the Bulls.
Problem for Louisville is it's okay having all these forwards, etc., but they've got no service. They've lost the midfield. USF has completely dominated the midfield. So when you cut out the service, they're not getting anything up to the forwards. They're not creating anything. So, the forwards are not getting anything at all to feed off of.
Well, that's a decent ball in by Jennings. Brown out of the air, pouncing on it off the bench is Boyle, and this is a tricky situation, but Mazzaferro, just as though you talked about, Brown with the header and Mazzaferro with the feet.
That's the combination right there.
Wow, unbelievable job. And it was, well, y'all in possibly, but the Bulls take it right away. But now it's back on for Louisville. A chipped pass, not a bad idea for the Cardinals sample, but it was taken by the Bulls. And you're right about the midfield. I mentioned the guy that was their leading scorer, Tate Schmidt. That was him. Oh, that's a hard foul by Jennings. And that could be, I don't know, it was a motion of get off the field. Yeah, he is going to get off the field. That was an absolute Ikaza going up the pitch. And Isaiah Jennings, who's got a wry smile on his face, can take it to the sidelines as he gets carded, and the Bulls will be up a man for the last 17 minutes.
I think I did say that there's going to be some more cards a few minutes ago, and sure enough, Louisville's just gotten so frustrated. As I said, USF's dominating the midfield. They're picking up all the loose ball, and that's just a sign of frustration there. It was a bad tackle.
And it wasn't the most violent thing you'll ever see. Usually you equate red card with something that's causing an injury. But it was just an absolute ride the guy out of bounds as hard down to the turf as you can with your body. And you can't do that when he's got a break on.
And Ikaza played that well because he waited for it. He knew it was coming.
Yeah.
He stepped in front and just allowed the guy to hit him.
He's going to have to take some ice. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Javane Brown, meanwhile, is sitting down with a little bit, I would guess, of a cramp. He's been doing such good work back there. So this will give both teams. This is one of those where he might be selling the injury a little bit if it is an injury, but no one's complaining on the other side.
Right.
Everyone's getting their water. I equate it to if you were running a marathon and you were told about halfway through, everyone gets the chance to stop for 2 minutes and it won't count against anyone. You're like, yes, let's do that. But Javane Brown picks right back up.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
73 minutes gone. Again, we thought Javane Brown made it 3-0, pouncing on a rebound off of a corner kick, but that was taken away, much delayed, by offside. Will he stay on the field, or does he have to come off for that momentary port here? I think he does.
Yeah, because the trainer came out, he's got to come out, but pretty sure he'll go straight back in. He won't want to miss any time.
So we mentioned some of the striking players for Louisville coming back in the game. Of course, they need that. Abdi Katir comes in. It'll be Boyle coming out. Cam Wheeler in for Louisville. And Javane Brown will just wait for this ball to be put into play. After the red card, the Bulls 11 on 10 for the last 17 minutes. Gallina over to Guerrero. Now it's to Murphy. So the Bulls, for a second game in a row, get to finish it out with the man advantage. Bulls only have one man on a yellow. Louisville has a couple out there on a yellow.
Guerrero's been fantastic for me tonight. He does all the unselfish stuff. You know, he just gets the little tackles in, wicks up the loose ball, the things that you don't get a lot of praise for, but it's necessary. He's really settled the team down. He's dominated the midfield.
That's a great point. Well, Emilio Ikaza, and now he's going to get a quick yellow for a little bit of gamesmanship, and you can't do that.
No.
And boy, just a little too fired up on a guy with a yellow card, right? Is Massey out there? He was the one that tried to wrestle the ball back from Ikaza, drawing the card on Ikaza, and almost got one himself for trying to rip the ball away from Bill Hart. So frustration, we mentioned, has been setting in for Louisville. It's taken up residence now.
USF's got to keep their discipline, though. You know, they don't want to get involved. Just play to the whistle. Just don't do anything silly and get somebody sent off, and then the numbers are evened up again.
Right now, it's a great header through the air by Javane Brown, again with purpose, over to Freddie Gill. Bulls up a man. We have 16 minutes left to go. The Bulls are up 2-0 on two early goals.
From Gill.
Good. Up to Gill, to
There's
Bill Hart, to Claudel.
well.
Yeah, all over to Rutherham on the right side, all by his lonesome. Drops it back, and now you can see the pass right from Guerrero, as you mentioned, to Gallina. Bill Hart wants the ball. Doesn't quite get it. Good defense by Louisville. Seems like
see space opening up though now, can't you? You know, down to 10 men. There's lots of space on the field now, and USF's doing well. They're keeping the ball on the ground, passing it around, switching the play, making Louisville chase.
And they are doing all sorts of chasing right now. Every one touch, two touch, it's all very well measured by the Bulls. Javane Brown, as I'm saying that, could have had a pass intercepted, but a nice little fake to get it back over to the left side. Gill almost loses it out of bounds and now will lose possession. Nope, couldn't quite get it, did Louisville. Gallina, and there's an unmarked Stephen Rutherham. Ball stays in the air forever.
Right,
nice touch, absolutely. Now he wants to cross it, but might take it in a little bit closer. Instead, drops it off to Guerrero, the man who's been so creative over to Gill. Boy, he has any myriad of options, sits it across, and boy, just a flick on there would have made it 3-0. I believe that was Bill Hart who had the chance for the flick, but instead...
Any touch there, and that was a goal.
Yep, Jake Geldermatch is saying thank you very much for just missing that, Bill Hart. Adrienne, Bill Hart looking for the first goal since 2 seasons ago at USF, but he has been great tonight. I just have a feeling he's going to get one and get off that dreaded schneid. 15 minutes, a little bit under left. Louisville tries a searching ball up the right wing, but there's Mazzaferro to play it, try and keep it from being a corner along the goal line to Javane Brown.
Stayed calm, didn't panic. That's what they've done well tonight in defense.
It has just been a show, as good as you can play, really. Victor Claudel got hurled to the ground by William Hirschman, and the Bulls will take their time. Free kick at midfield. No need to rush it. Actually, Louisville helps out with the gamesmanship there.
Yeah, I mean, 75 minutes gone. I mean, it's, USF, they can play at whatever tempo they want to right now, really. They can slow it down if they feel like it. They can pick the pace up, with that having the extra man as well. It's a good situation to be in for USF. And there's more goals coming. I still see some more chances here coming in the last 15 minutes.
Now, this is more all praise for USF, nothing against Louisville.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you, if you asked me who is the number 5 ranked team in the country between these two, and I didn't know watching the game, obviously I'd be saying USF right now. That's how well they've looked. That's how well they've looked. And again, the Cardinals are a great team. 11 of the last 12 NCAA tournaments, they made at least to the quarterfinals 7 times. Unbelievable history. Ooh, not a bad ball and not a bad gathering in of it by Wheeler, but couldn't quite hang on to it. Devine Brown there to finish it up.
I think right from the first whistle, USF has been better in every area of the field. They scored early, and that's obviously great, get that early goal, but defensively, midfield, up front, they to me, USF has just been outstanding tonight and better in all aspects of the game.
It's Alan Anderson, yours truly, Derek Sharp. Bulls leading the 5th-ranked Louisville Cardinals 2-0 on a couple of early goals. It was a spectacular goal by Claudel for 2-0 after Josue Monje got it going. This could be on, and Bill Hart, a good pass across to Rutherham. One touch for a chance to get it on goal. Instead, across, and Claudel was actually blocked by the Louisville defense. Good job there. I thought Rutherham was going to have a go.
I'm not sure if Rutherham was shooting there or trying to cross it. He didn't really do either, did he? It was a half shot, half cross.
Well, Claudel could have been on the end of it. I think Claudel wanted to try and slide since he had that crazy first goal. Why not? But there was a Louisville player right in between them.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have
defending actually blocked him off. But I'd like to have seen Rutherham take the shot there. Again, hit the target, make the keeper make a save.
3 players in for Louisville now, most notably Sharif Jay coming back in.
I think they're just trying everything now, aren't they, Louisville? They're just throwing stuff against the wall and hoping something sticks. I mean, it's desperation time for them now.
Well, I told you about the straight flop in the penalty box, and they've gotten 2 PKs this year, and that's one of those things where thankfully it wasn't called against the Bulls, or they could have really fortunately lucked back into this game. They're going to have to earn it though, and the Bulls are making them do so. 12 minutes to go, 2-0 USF. Louisville being pressured back there.
Good pressure again, Gil. Good pressure. That's what you want to keep doing. Just don't let them settle.
Gil has played every minute of this half and entered as a substitute late in the first half, so he has earned his spot on the field, and it's been all for Avion Flanagan, right? We haven't seen AO back in the game.
Gil's done well, though. His positional play is good because he tucks in when they don't have the ball, USF, and then when they win it, he's drifting wide and finding space. He's playing that position well. He's getting up and down. He's put a good shift in this second half.
Yeah, more of a defensive midfielder for a game when you're up 2-0 makes sense.
Yep.
Bob Udhorn knows what he's doing over there. As we approach 11 minutes left to play, Bulls up by the score of 2-0. Now they got to get back as Louisville had a decent combination there, but it's knocked away by Devine Brown. I don't know if the statistic for clearances is on our stat service, but he's probably got about a dozen of them here tonight. Louisville try and build from the back, just barely getting over there as the somewhat gangly William Hirschman goes 6'1", gets it to the midfield stripe, sees a crossing in Jay, and what a play by Brown, flying through the air,
and you see
chest it down.
Mazzafaro's dropped in behind him. They cover so well together, those two. They read the game.
Amo was the intended target there. Gill, as Claudel plays dummy so that he could get through. He would have been offsides. Gill has the ball, draws in 2 defenders, and now it's going to maybe a handball. Nope, no call. Victor Claudel wanted to get that out of the official, but
I've seen those given.
Yeah, me too. I think it was, obviously the whole ball to hand.
Ball to hand, that's right. That's right. And I actually agree with that. It was hit at him very hard from a yard away. There's not much he could have done about that, really.
10 minutes to go. A 1-on-7 situation here. Maybe the Bulls should perk up here against the one lone wolf for Louisville who's keeping the ball in play. And now there's a chance here, and there's a foul committed by the Cardinals. And a big foul. Who's that down for the Bulls? I can't see. But it was actually 1-on-7 in the Bulls penalty box, and the Cardinals almost got something out of it. And there will be a stoppage here for an injured player. It wasn't intentional.
He just caught him.
Trying to see who that is. I think it's a single digit.
Top of the foot there, he got caught.
No, it looks like Guerrero. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. Which doesn't surprise me because he's been all over the field tonight. He's covered every blade of grass, and he's been involved in everything. So those are the ones where you kind of, you earn those scars, and he's done well tonight.
He's going to get a nice ice bath at some point.
Yeah.
Freddie Gill has shown us some stuff here. Up to Ikaza, holding for Bill Hart run possibly. Ikaza's going to keep it. Tries to switch field over to Rutherham. Is going to let the ball run. Claudel wins the battle. Could he take another strike? He does, and it's wide left. Victor Claudel not shy tonight. He does have a goal, but this will lead to a corner kick with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah. Ikaza's had a good run out as well this evening. He's needed this. Ikaza, he needs to get himself the fitness, and get on the ball, get some confidence. This has been a good second half for him.
We mentioned at halftime the Tuesday night scheduled programming live for USF Bowls Unlimited being volleyball. I just wanted to mention this for anyone's listening now. If you're going to that thing, you have to park somewhere else because there's a big concert at the Yuengling Center tomorrow. So be ready to walk. I believe it's Lizzo. And I'll be going to that volleyball match. I think I'm going to have to get here at 6 a.m. so that I don't have to hike it. Actually, got a nice surprise today with a stoppage of play with 8.5 minutes to go as there was a foul on USF leading 2-0. Going to cover the Charlie Strong press conference. Got here in plenty of time, but it's just that with classes, it's hard to get a spot. And I got dive bombed like 3 times for an open spot. So finally, I gave in and parked on the side thinking, okay, 20 minutes, maybe I won't get a ticket. No, they popped me, baby. Got to watch out when you're parking at the Yuengling Center.
Yeah, they know. they somehow know.
There is a foul, and this is going to be the best chance for anything for Louisville in a while, and reaching for his pocket. I'm a little surprised. Hopefully, okay, that's just a foul call because Ikaza does have the yellow for the gamesmanship earlier. That would have been a tough one. It was Amo who was pushed. Actually, that was Jay, I'm sorry. And now, far from net, it'll be Abdidakir lining up along with Cam Wheeler, the lefty. Abdidakir is from the right side. Bulls have a 4-man wall about 28 yards from net. 8 minutes left. Boy, you want to secure this and not give Louisville any lifeline. Abdidakir is going to take a low shot, and Devin Ishmael sees it, knocks it wide, and is able to scoop up the ball.
Yeah, good save.
Able to get it before it goes over the goal line. Fantastic job there. So, threat averted, and that was not a bad low drive at all by the Cardinals. Their first shot of any consequence in quite some time.
He's done well tonight, Devin Ishmael, because he hasn't had a lot to do, and sometimes that's a challenge for a keeper. You're cold, you haven't done much in a while, and then you're forced to make a big save. And when he's had to, he's done very well.
Gathers in that cross from Ama right there on cue. And he keeps himself lively out there by running 70 yards when he thinks a teammate scored a third goal like he did not too long ago when Javane Brown found the back of the net, but ruled belatedly offside. So the Bulls could have had it sewn up by then. Not quite there yet, but getting there with just 6.5 minutes to go, and it's 2-0. Chance for a quick throw by the Cardinals, but a substitute. So
Gill's got a bit of cramp, I think. He's worked hard on that side tonight, but he may need a break soon.
Yeah, I don't see anyone set to come on for the Bulls. Gill has played this entire second half, and here comes Flanagan on cue, so you're right to observe that.
Yeah.
Gill just skied up in the air to head a potential shot on or a pass on net away. He is really working. I think he knows this is the end of the night for him. Good gathering in there by Amo, who falls to the turf, gets back up Abdidakir, up to Wheeler on the right side, and Gallino is all over him and keeps the ball in bounds. This has been some stellar defense by the Bulls here tonight.
Physically, they've won the battle tonight, USF. They just all the 50-50 tackles, all the loose ball. USF, they've bullied Louisville.
100%. Bill Hart gets called for a foul there as Louisville is taking at least minor offense to every single push. But again, frustrating. They didn't come here thinking this would be the score line. It's 2-0. They still got a chance. That's a decent ball in. Devin Ishmael's caught of two minds, goes back into the goal. It drops out. It's a long shot knocked away. It's going to be a corner. Marcus Murphy.
Good pressure. Closed it down quickly.
Got his foot on it.
Gill's tired, you can see. I think he's coming out now, actually. They're just sending him back in. But he wants to come out. He needs a breather.
He is going to instead be the guy in the middle on defense. Funny enough, he's the guy in the middle of the corner kicks on offense as well. Actually, he's going to guard the post.
On the near post, yeah.
Here comes the corner. 5 minutes to go. Dangerous looking ball. 2 Louisville players lining up to head it, and it goes well across the goal mouth. And it's going to be cleared away by Rutherham. Nicely up to midfield where it's just 2 players, Adrienne Billhart and Louisville Cardinal, who sends it back to his keeper. So a couple of chances there for the Cardinals. I think that might have been their shot, so to speak. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, but USF's still got to be careful. Play out, play the whole game. They can't switch off now. Think they've already got it won. They need to be careful here and keep doing what they're doing. Keep the discipline. It's been a brilliant performance tonight. They just need to finish it off now.
Yep, and keep the discipline, as you say.
Yep.
Devine Brown could have gotten a card earlier, was able to avoid it. And again, Ikaze, who's been out there for this entire half, both he and Gill, late first half subs, have stayed on the pitch. It's been something to see here tonight. Another ball up by Gill. No purpose as far as moving the attack because you don't need to at that point.
No, I think they've got what they need right now. They don't need to score anymore. They just don't give Louisville anything.
For a guy that's supposedly tired, Gill is still bopping around out there, but he is tired.
Yeah.
4 minutes to go. Long ball in by Louisville. Rotherham, I think, wants to let it fly so that he could get some subs in, but instead, a possible break and a foul called against the Bulls instead.
Yeah.
There's Evelyn Vienne. What's up? Basically, the whole women's soccer team is here watching this match today. And they haven't had a chance to be at Corbett for a while, so of course they're going to watch their men's team, which is up 2-0 with 3.5 minutes to go. Louisville might pull the goalie at some point here. Long free kick in, and that hopefully goes off a Cardinals player. It did, actually offside, I think, got whistled, so it'll be Bulls kick. They're going to stop the clock for this substitution with 3.5 minutes to go. Avion Flanagan, and if it's Gill coming out, he deserves a warm reception, I'm telling you.
I think Ikaza's coming out as well. Yep, Ikaza.
And it'll be Vinny Lorero in for Emilio Ikaza. Both of those guys were very good in this half.
Yeah, he worked hard tonight, Ikaza, in the second half, but he's got a yellow card, and I think maybe coach is thinking about that as well.
No doubt about it. Bob Buhorn, all of his assistants there. Coach Hurdle, Plowski there to greet both players, and actually,
yeah, Gill, he's dead on his feet, isn't he, Gill? He's put a great shift in tonight.
That was tremendous. That got the handshake and the double pat from his head coach. That's not a bad place to be. Bulls are in a good spot right now, still up 2-0, keeping it that way. Been trying to add, do have the man advantage. We should probably sprinkle in that fact. We probably haven't done it enough. It's been the last 12 minutes now that they've been up after a straight red shown to Jennings for Louisville. Approaching the 3 minutes remaining. Again, you want to head everything away. Devine Brown could have done it that time. Instead, chested it to himself, poked it up to Gallina. Guerrero can't quite get a foot on the ball. Bulls want to go ahead and take care of it when they can. Don't let it linger near your penalty box, but that's where it is, outside. And Louisville has a chance at crossing one in. Decent this time. Brown volleys it out of the air.
Yeah.
He's got about 20 clearances now. It's unofficial, but that's what the number is. That deep ball in, it's going to go.
Frustration from Louisville. They're frustrated now. It was a poor ball.
Now the ball, boys and girls getting in on the act, not rushing the ball back into the field of play. Head referee tells Harrison Devonish Mears to get a boot on it.
He's going to take his time on this one.
87.5 minutes gone in this one. It's been 2-0 for the last hour plus, and the Bulls have been masterful at hanging on to the lead. Of course, when you have a man advantage, you're tempted to throw numbers forward, but they've been smart about it here. So we approach 2 minutes left in this one. Actually, Louisville, worth noting, in the win 3-0 against Kentucky, which was ranked ahead of the Cardinals at the time, actually outshot them for a period of the game when they were down a man. They played down the last 33 minutes after they had built their 3-0 lead, but it didn't hurt them because they had such the big lead. In this game, it's been about even since, but that's okay. The Bulls can afford to be a little conservative.
Yeah, it's a great performance by USF. This is what you want to do at home. You know, you want to win your home games comfortably, win them well, and just set the tone for the rest of the season. But anybody that comes to USF, they know they're going to be in for a tough night. And USF has done great tonight to really set the tone right from the first whistle. And they to me, they've been dominant every part of the field.
And doing a good job of clearing anything away from danger. Flanagan off the bench doing it just so there. As we get near just a minute left, Louisville with a little bit of control here, but everything outside the box and anything that goes into the box gets ejected right out of it. Now they've got the goalkeeper still in his net. I think he might come up here shortly as we hit 1 minute remaining. Ball across and over the head of Amo. Got some help there on the left side. Louisville down 2-0. Bulls in great shape right now. Letting Louisville have the ball 30 yards from goal. Out there is Diego Guerrero, making him take a few 5-10 seconds off the clock. That ball is dangerous, but
Easy
Devonish
for the
Mears
keeper. Yep, easy.
timed it well, like a pop-up.
Yep.
Had no issue. Bob Buellern actually goes to his bench, starts shaking hands. You know, that's a good sign.
It is.
Devin Mears rolls the ball.
He'll be delighted because, you know, as he said in the pre-game interview, you know, it was a tough game on Friday. They hadn't had a lot of time to rest. They come straight back, and I mean, they look so fresh tonight. So you wouldn't know they played on Friday.
You're right about that. Now just playing it out. Louisville will have the ball after Avion Flanagan tried to get something going there. You hear the clock counting down. Louisville's going to have a long shot. Actually, not a bad effort. One of their best of the game. Devin Mears actually plays it off his chest.
The back pass.
And won't have to do anything else. The Bulls did a lot tonight.
Terrific.
They did it at the beginning, and they held on smartly through the middle and made it so there were no issues at the end. They defeat Louisville, the number 5 ranked team in the country, by the score of 2-0, getting fantastic goals. Really in the case of the second goal by Victor Claudel, but Josue Monje early on, and getting the win. We'll have some final stats, and we'll wrap it up when we come back. The Bulls win it 2-0. This is men's soccer on USF Bulls Unlimited.
What a great performance.
Great.
What a great win that is. Woo, that'll move them up in the rankings. Rank number 4. It was a very mature performance. Just did everything right. Nice turnout as well. That's good. You know, people to keep coming, get a reputation.
Yeah,
They'll
really.
be packing this place
That's
out.
a good point.
You know. Great performance.